Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where three mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now here are your hosts, Darth Jada, Jason Mitchell, and Adam B.
One cock up already.
There you go.
There we go.
What a great start to the evening.
That thing never turns on, and
No.
then it picks tonight to do it.
It has a mind of its own.
There we go. Let's pull the audience down a little bit.
Welcome to our first episode after our Halloween season, Hindsighters. We are paying special tribute tonight to Sir Sean Connery, who we recently lost, which is lost on
Bullshit.
Halloween. Yeah, it's complete
bullshit.
bullshit. Yeah. 2020 can suck it. That's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump stuff. That's all I have to say about that. So
Hooters, Trebek, Hooters.
the penis mightier. But yeah, so we lost Sean Connery, which absolutely sucks. There's no better phrasing for that, to be perfectly honest. So we
Well-
are paying tribute to the most badass Scottish man of all time, Sir Sean Connery, with Dr. No.
We are talking about a person who he was himself.
I love watching him pretend to smoke. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. He looks so dapper and dashing with his... Oh, I thought he had a martini glass there for a second. It was there.
That'll come later.
Oh, okay.
Phrasing. Also, we'll get to the movie in a second. No, but what I was saying is that this is the thing about Sean Connery is that
What's the thing?
he was the person who created, or didn't create, but he was the first person to fill the shoes of this classic cinematic property.
He is James Bond. Yeah.
But he himself is was just as much of a cinematic entity as James Bond was.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you could just pick a Sean Connery movie, you'll watch it. You might not like it. There might, there's Sean Connery movies
This
that
is
weren't
true.
great.
You have
but
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You've got several projects that just he was a little too good to be a part of. So you wonder why he was there.
Zardos.
Besides the paycheck.
Zardos.
Cough.
Robin
Cough.
Hood. Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Hey. At me, Mr. Brown. At me.
Give me a light, Moneypenny.
I'm not your damn money penny.
Robin Hood? Fucking fine. Anyway, so we are talking about the movie that brought Sean Connery to the world.
Yes.
After he was Mr. Universe.
Yes.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that. You were the one who told me about that. Is that I would never have guessed that Sean Connery could have been Mr. Universe.
Oh, yeah.
He was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
the standards have changed. So
Very,
you've
he
got
was
the,
soft and squishy. Not like
for Mr.
Arnold.
Universe.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
nothing like Arnold. That's true. Arnold is.
He probably didn't juice, if you know what I mean.
No. Well, he did, but it came from a bottle.
That's right.
I'm going to go work out and then drink. And then,
He did it in
and
the
then
Scottish
punch a
way.
lady. And then have sex with her.
Luckily, that lady was not me. So anyway,
But he was almost not Bond, though, because of all of that.
Yes.
Because James Bond, remember, Ian Fleming thought James Bond was David Niven.
okay.
Upper
Well,
class,
a lot of the
upper
hindsighters
class
don't
Eng-
realize this. So
Yeah.
talk through it.
upper class British, dapper man. And here you have Sean Connery, he's Scottish, he's not English,
Which is really
Working
funny.
class,
working class,
quit high school,
Blue
Yeah.
collar.
Joined
Oh my god.
Navy,
the Navy.
Commander Bond. I'm sorry.
He earned his
It
dolphin.
just makes me so happy.
Well, he actually just punched somebody and took the dolphins. What do you mean, tests?
Those are mine.
I'll show
he
you
took
my
them
test.
from Timothy Dalton. What's really funny is that Ian Fleming's version of Bond is really more Timothy Dalton, and it's hilarious because people come down on Timothy Dalton for being one of the worst Bonds.
So I love Timothy Dalton.
I do
as
too,
Bond.
but it just
The only Bond I don't like is Pierce Brosnan.
ooh,
I-
them's fighting words for us '90s kids.
Well, it's not even Pierce Brosnan. It's not
Darby's
Pierce Brosnan.
hackles have raised somewhere.
It's not really Pierce Brosnan's fault. He got.
It was the writing
He got
and-
put in
yeah.
some really awful movies.
He did.
I think he was all right. Daniel Craig.
I mean, by the time you're told that Halle Berry's going to be your Bond girl, who the fuck
Yeah, it does-
cares?
Madonna's going to be in the movie.
Madonna, I'm in.
Nah, I'm out.
Oh, you're
No,
out.
I'm
Oh,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, this one would be in. He loves
Oh,
Madonna,
back when
so.
people were just full of tempera paint.
I said that when I was
paint,
watching
yes.
it with Josh. I was just like, oh, the tempera paint.
We actually just mentioned if you watch this scene, this is the part where Strangways' secretary has been shot.
Yes.
It's got one of the worst cuts.
Yeah.
When she turns around, they cut from her turning and looking out the window to another shot of the same thing, and she just jumps across the screen. I mean, there's continuity errors all over the place. You know, this was definitely. They didn't have the budget that they would have
They
later.
were
No.
feeling it out, and because this was, like you said, it was the first Bond film, so it
was second,
you know.
actually.
Oh, second. Yes. Shoot, what was the first one? I'm sorry, I'm mistaking myself. What's up? What was the first one?
Casino Royale.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But
I knew that.
that was not an Eon production.
No,
That
it was not.
That was
it was like a TV serial or something like
Well,
that.
Bond was American.
Yes.
In that, yeah.
Was his name Bill something? I can't remember. But yeah. Me either.
See, I'm not old enough
I did
to
find
remember
out
these
today
things.
that Jack Lord's real name is Jack Ryan, which I went, oh, wow. If he had
Tom
not,
Clancy.
If he is that where Tom Clancy got that from?
You gotta wonder. But the synopsis
It's
with the olives.
It's got to coincide.
Is that
with
an
the,
Appletini?
No, it is not. It is a full-blown martini.
Do I look like I give a damn?
God. Okay, so the synopsis is
Wait, hold on. Le Cercle. Le Ambassador.
How awesome would it
London.
be? How awesome would it be to go hang out in a joint like that? I think I'm gonna go play cards tonight. Get my tuxedo on. You know, lose a shitload of money.
And this scene where they introduced
we
Bond
swear.
apparently was a homage to another director who would show different angles without actually showing the actor's face.
Oh,
So if you'll notice, you can see like from behind Bond's shoulder, from the side when he's doing cards,
Yeah, 'cause-
and then they finally they pan up from his where he's got the cigarette in his mouth and Bond, James Bond,
what you were doing with your
Exactly right
your
now,
gum cigarette.
it's
and
chewing gum.
and I can't remember her name, but she is the only Bond girl to show up in 2 Bond movies.
That's
Russia
true. They
with Love.
usually die,
Yeah.
or
See,
they.
okay, from the back you see.
Look at the
James from back.
continuity errors here.
Oh, plenty.
Look at his hands. Because when they go back to the wide shot, his hands are like all over the place, which is probably pretty realistic for Sean Connery, especially when women are around.
Bunko card.
God, the man just died on Halloween. My God, Jason.
He would love
But
it.
he died
This is
happy.
true.
Now here it comes.
You know?
Throw the cards down.
No syllable.
You still have not seen
Bonk.
Sean Connery.
Bonk.
What is bonk?
What?
He's pulling out his chewing gum cigarette right now.
Just give me some gummy bears and some scotch.
There he is.
There he is. Look, and he was using a Zippo, I think.
Yeah. Oh, of course he was using it.
Adam
all,
is so
all stylish
so
men.
good at this.
All stylish men use Zippos.
God.
My Lafayette Zippo.
Okay, so the synopsis of this film, Hindsighters, is in the film, James Bond is sent to Jamaica to investigate the disappearance of a fellow British agent. The trail leads him to the underground base of Dr. No, who is plotting to disrupt an early American space launch from Cape Canaveral with a radio beam weapon.
Yes. Yes. Called toppling. Do you know anything about toppling 007? Yes, I believe it. I love it. I love how
believe
Bond
it has to
always
do with,
he always knows.
Dressing a turkey? Like, whatever.
What's the one subject though that Bond wasn't an expert on?
Oh, they brought it up in this movie.
Prophylactics. Sorry.
It's got illegitimate children.
I don't use
everywhere.
those
You-
dirty things.
You have every STD, including some we've never seen before.
Mutations.
Oh, no wonder why I'm still allowed to come back, because I bring beer and no STDs. That's,
Indestructible.
She's clean.
I'm the clean Bond girl.
And this movie was actually supposed to be even racier than it is.
Yes.
I mean,
It's pretty racy.
well, the famous scene where he goes into his apartment and he finds her wearing his
Shirt.
His shirt. She was supposed to be buck naked, and the censors were like, "No,
We're not happy.
Did they rip that off with Naked Gun with what's her face? And,
Priscilla
Leslie,
Presley?
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen's shirt.
I'm pretty sure." Yeah.
Okay, I thought so, because he's supposed to be kind of a Bond type in that movie anyway. So
Well, and Bond in the books is always described as a blunt instrument, and that's one of the reasons why when Daniel Craig came around, so many people who were fans of the franchise, like me, felt like it was going back to Bond, because Bond was a blunt instrument.
Right.
You sent a 00 agent into a situation, usually to kill somebody.
however he solves that scenario, Just be happy with the results.
Yeah, he's going to go in with a hammer and he's going to,
So I crashed into a few cop cars. I ran over a few mimes. I get results, mother.
But the scene where Professor Dent.
Harvey Dent.
Yeah, when Two-Face comes in.
Two-Face Harvey Dent.
Whenever he delivers that great line, like, that's a Smith & Wesson and you've had your 6.
Yes.
In the original script, and they actually filmed it this way, so Dent shoots at the pillows 6 times. And then Bond says that, you've had your 6. In the original script, he unloaded 6 shots into Dent. Like, you've had yours. That's like
in my turn.
It was my turn.
Woo.
And it was basically, he shot him once, then he went and stood over him and pumped 5 more rounds into him.
Jesus.
And
Quid pro quo.
They were like,
yes.
That might be a little.
That's a little.
But Daniel
rough.
Craig would have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Daniel Craig would have, yeah.
Oh, did you see his statement about Sean Connery when Sean Connery passed? He was basically saying, like, you'll never be able to fill these kind of shoes again. Like, he was amazing, best of the best. Like, Daniel Craig had really sweet words to say about Sir Sean Connery.
So Harrison Ford did too.
I don't doubt it because, that's his dad.
Yeah, well, that's what he said.
In the Indiana Jones franchise. Yeah.
He said you can't understand how amazing it is to go to work and what are you doing today? You're giving Sir Sean Connery a ride in a sidecar while you ride a motorcycle.
Yes.
Like, you don't beat that. That's it. That's the high point of your life.
Even your hero, Clancy. He had some nice words to say about Sir Sean Connery from Highlander. He said, Sean would speak to me in 3-word sentences like, let's go golf.
Yeah, do you golf?
Yeah, or do you golf? Yeah. Like
have a drink.
Yeah. Yes.
Just 3-word phrases. He was like, that's how Sean would talk to me, and I'm gonna miss that forever. He was a great guy, and so it's hilarious to me that Sir Sean Connery has such there's such a wide spectrum of opinions about him.
Oh, I was like, balls?
No,
he liked to feel breasts that way, left or right, which they're not quite uniform.
Oh my God.
Oh, Trebek, you poofta.
Oh my God. Sorry. The penis might go. Anyway, Sir Sean Connery had quite a wide spectrum of opinions going around about him. Like, if you're a woman, you tend to have a different view on him than most men do.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of an advocate of, you can slap a woman around every now and then. That's all right.
Just to remind her. That was it. I think that was his
Dude, if you
exact word.
slap me, I'm going to bitch slap you back. You have no idea.
Never slap a woman in the face. Nature provides a better place.
There's a lot of wrong. Wait, there's no
start with me in that.
There's no right way to hit a lady, but there's a lot of wrong ways.
White lady.
But hope is not lost though, because don't forget, we still have Neil Connery.
This is true.
His brother is still there, and his brother played James Bond twice.
Now this is news to me, so tell me all about this.
One of the most bizarre friggin' movies ever made. It makes that Woody Allen Casino Royale thing just look like Branagh's Hamlet. There was a movie. It's got like 3 names. Whenever I saw it, it was called Operation 0007.
Let's see.
And the premise of the movie was that they needed James Bond to save the world, but he was like busy. No, seriously.
So it's like finding Sherlock Holmes' brother. It's like getting Mycroft on the case.
No, but it wasn't even like that. It was, we're going to get his brother and just convince everybody that this is 007.
Oh my God.
And it was Neil Connery.
This is a real movie?
Yeah, it's a real movie.
And you said it was bad?
Oh, it's awful. But here's the
Operation Kid Brother?
Yeah, that's the original title.
Oh,
Operation
okay.
Kid Brother.
I was about to say, because that's what
But here's the thing. Bernard Lee is in it.
Yes.
As M. Lois Maxwell is in it as Moneypenny.
I think I may have seen
You
this.
might
late
have.
night television in
it's
the
total.
70s
Lois
or 80s?
Maxwell, Yi Wan Yang, Bernard Lee, like you said, Agatha Flori, Adolfo Sali.
Oh, Agatha Flori. She was in something also, a Bond thing. I don't remember, but it's atrocious.
Daniela Bianchi she looks like the Bond girl from just what I can see from IMDb.
She was in Thunderball, and she was actually one of the silhouette girls in the opening credits.
Bianchi.
There you go, hindsighters.
Operation Kid Brother.
There you go.
Yeah, MST3K did it.
I think this is only one of 2 times you've seen the inside, or 3 times you've seen the inside of Bond's house. Like Sean Connery,
Well, it's
Roger
not his
Moore.
house. He's in Jamaica at this point, isn't
No,
he?
no,
No.
that's his flat.
Oh, is
This
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's got a visitor though.
And you
Yeah,
see,
he
that's
does.
why James Bond hates shoes with laces. It's explicitly said in one of the books he refuses to wear shoes with laces
Because they're harder to get
for
off?
that reason.
Like if you need to be quiet and pad your way around your flat
Yeah.
so you can kill somebody.
Do you know when Ken Adams, nice legs,
Moneypenny. Oh, that was going to be Moneypenny.
whatever,
want-
you'll do.
All right, so you wanted me to hold this for the actual podcast.
Yes.
So she was originally cast as Moneypenny, but then Louise Maxwell came in, and I think it was Albert Broccoli said that she was way too sexy to be Moneypenny. In fact, he said she smelled of sex. Louise Maxwell smelled of soap, so that's why he cast her as Moneypenny.
Lois.
Lois Maxwell.
She smelled
of soap.
She
Yes.
smelled clean.
She was clean.
That damn clean whore.
And back when they filmed these movies, when Sean Connery kisses the girl, he's going
yeah.
to town.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like
I've never witnessed that in my life. Ever.
It almost looks like he's hurting them. He's just like, come here.
Well, that's
I'll
an
eat the back
article.
of your head out.
That's an
Pan
an
American?
article.
What's that?
Pan Am.
I love Pan.
Cause it's Delta Airlines and life
Oh.
is a fucking nightmare.
There's a company that is selling, you know, the drinks carts that
Yes.
you can buy a bar for your home, but
Get out.
it's one of those drinks carts, and you can get like an old Pan Am one, and you
Oh,
open it
I
up, and
need
you've got
that
all
for
your
my
whiskey
house.
inside, and
I need that for my house,
Yeah.
big time.
but
So I
so
can pretend to be a stewardess in the privacy of my home.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Jamaica.
See, I have to sit next to him every single week.
Well, I'm
Go
not
on
gonna
with
do
whatever
it.
the hell you- Well,
No.
he- he's not quite the same with you as he is with me. So now we're in Jamaica.
Yes,
Now
Jamaica.
we finally made it to Kingston.
Jamaica is a town that is so absolutely tied.
Big ass
Yeah,
town.
it's so tied to James Bond. You know, in fact, that's where Sean Connery was when he died.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was in the. Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I might have been wrong.
I can look it up now because I don't have to use my phone as a
That's
camera.
Yeah.
true. I was about to say I'm about to look it up.
It's a
Well,
new-
Ian Fleming's home was
Yes.
in Jamaica. Do you know what the name of his home
Of course I
was?
do.
Of course you
GoldenEye.
do. Yes, very good.
Go! I said it wrong. It's supposed to be pronounced Golden Eye. the Tina Turner.
He died in Nassau.
Oh, he was in the Bahamas.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
Close enough. Jamaica, Bahamas.
Come on, pretty mama. Anyway,
Speaking of
We're
Ian,
we're devolving.
Ian Fleming at first was not happy with the choice of Sean Connery for the reasons we spoke of. He was an upper class guy. Sean Connery was a Scotsman. But he so liked Sean Connery as the role that he actually, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, incorporated a Scottish descent.
That's pretty awesome.
That is very awesome.
that's pretty cool.
There's not a lot of actors who have like oh my
Inspired
Changed
a
the
writer.
Yeah, the writer's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to change my character because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and
Sir
Sean
Hilary
Connery
Bray.
was Sean Connery was very much Scotland.
Hey,
He
Jack
was-
Lord.
He was Scotland forever. Like
Yeah.
he was always about Scotland becoming independent from the British Isles. Everything.
What TV series was Jack Lord in?
I don't know.
You're not really asking that question. The one that ran from 1968 to 1980, you mean?
Very popular show.
I'm so out of the loop.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Well, why don't
Wait,
you just
hold
tell
on.
the
Yeah,
hindsighters?
get
now?
it? Do, 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 do.
I'm not doing that for you. I know how much you would enjoy it, but I'm
You're a
not doing it.
60s
No, no, no.
go-go girl,
No,
baby.
Jack Lord, though.
In your dreams, darling. In your dreams.
Jack Lord, who was later in Hawaii Five-0.
Yes.
Yes.
He apparently, the reason that he was not, and I'd never heard this until today, he wasn't in any of the subsequent movies as Felix Leiter.
Because he was.
Well,
Well, I read that he was too cool. He didn't want to take away from James
well,
Bond.
he wanted co-credit.
Oh, well, that was in the later films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted
Okay.
it to be like Sean Connery and Jack Lord.
Yes, that wasn't
No,
going to
that's
happen.
not going to happen, Jack.
Sorry.
But Jack was cool in Hawaii
he was-
5-0.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool, I mean, look at this man over here. You need to show the hindsighters just how decked out you are.
And
this evening,
hindsighters,
Mr. B.
just so you know, he actually swam to the studio.
He did.
and took his wetsuit off.
That's why his hair is slicked down the way that it is.
Well, the Savile Row tailor who made Bond's suit, he said a gentleman's suit should be, durable. You should be able to like grab the lapels, and it won't mess it up. And Sean Connery apparently didn't believe that, so he told him sleep in it. And when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to get out of bed and it's going to look perfect. And apparently Sean Connery slept in the suit, got out of bed and went, that's fucking amazing.
Well, who's
what do you think, girls?
Who's grabbing? I was going to say, who's grabbing the lapels? A lady who's kissing him, or like a dude who's fighting him? What's happening?
Either or.
There? Either
Men
way.
want to be him, and women
want to be with him.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. This is very true.
Oh, and this poor guy.
Yeah, he taps into the cyanide capsule.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
But at least in the 60s, if you it's just a cigarette 007. Oh, that's fine, smoke.
Yeah, that was what was hilarious, is that it was kind of a gentleman's thing. And James Bond used to be a little more loosey-goosey with his, the people that he was going to kill. Like, oh yeah, you want a cigarette before I kick your ass? Sure, why not? So the guy had the opportunity to kill himself with a cyanide capsule as opposed to having James Bond kill him directly, whereas Daniel Craig wouldn't put up with that shit. No, Daniel Craig is going to kill your ass.
Well, that was the thing about Daniel Craig. And I remember watching Casino Royale for the first time in the theater.
And watching him get hit in the balls so many times. My
Well,
God, that was rough.
what got me was just the first scene with Daniel Craig beating the shit. And I mean beating the
absolute
shit
hell out of
that dude. I mean, like when he breaks his the sink, he hits the guy
So hard.
Yeah. And then
you got to wonder about that poor stunt double. Like, it's just like, dude, did you really put him through a sink? Jesus.
Well, the stunt double in this movie, he got to, obviously he would do the dangerous scenes, but he also did a very famous scene. And I'm sure you know this. Which scene had a stunt double in it that didn't really have a stunt?
Well, the opening scene he did.
Well,
that was a stunt.
That's
double.
true. That was him.
Oh, the spider scene.
The spider
scene.
Oh, I can only.
Because Sean Connery was apparently just
he hated
apoplectically.
spiders.
Yeah. I hate bugs. Like I've told you guys this story. The centipede in my hair. Just no. I'm not having a spider, especially not a tarantula, crawl up my body.
Rosie the tarantula.
Rosie,
because she was a rose tarantula.
I don't care.
Rosie.
No me importa, Rosie.
But
I don't
the
care
thing
about
is,
you.
I've seen this movie a billion times. I mean, this is like, me as a little kid, watching this movie.
I see it in pieces at least every Thanksgiving when TNT, I think it is, has the Bond.
7 Days of 007?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
my God, that was the best week ever.
Wasn't it?
And
You'd never leave the tube.
It was awesome.
Just roll right into the next
You would
film.
turn the TV on, and the United Artists logo, it would sort of turn around and the piano would play, and it was like, this has got to be a Bond film. And if it wasn't, you were so mad.
And your mom knew not to expect anything out of you that week. It's just like, no. They're off. They're off from school. They're not helping with Thanksgiving.
It should be a national holiday, No, but the spider, though, I've seen the movie a million times, and I never noticed that in the scenes with Sean Connery and the spider, that the spider's on glass. I never caught.
You never noticed?
I didn't notice that either.
No, I have never noticed that. Ever.
I guess I was too caught up in the moment. Yeah, because I grew up.
Is that her tempera paint? Yes,
that is her.
We tested it, and she's like an alien because her blood type is like ORH negative or something. It's like what?
Yep.
They've clearly run off together and made love on this carpet, and she was menstruating. I've solved the crime. Let's move on.
Now I'm going home now. I want a steak, a whiskey, and a woman.
Ew. Ew.
Sorry, Annie.
Aww. All right. Oh, wait.
Woman, don't use your sexy voice on me. Oh.
I love that you don't get hung up on our age difference. No, in fact, I wish you were younger.
So I did bring a vodka martini with me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He already drank it.
Not yet. It's in an Art Deco shaker, which I'm sure you're going to.
You actually brought a martini?
A lot of shit about. Of course I did.
Well,
why would we ever give
your
shit?
bartender friend might give you
When Bond is tired,
I'm not touching
this comes in handy.
I am not touching that.
It's wet and cold.
No. No, thank you.
I loved
I was about
the
to
look
say,
on
do
your
you-
face when the officer says, "Sir, do you have any alcohol in the car?" Is that alcohol? No. Well, what is it? Marital aid? All right.
Funny how often marital aids come up in our company. My God.
Boom.
Phrasing.
This
first.
one does not vibrate. So.
No.
All right.
Well, that's better though. It contains alcohol.
Let's see. Let's see how he did.
I did great.
Very smooth.
Oh, fantastic.
And let's actually take the opportunity to discuss the alcohol in this movie.
Yes, there's quite a bit of it.
The fact that he just drinks so much vodka in this movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
I mean, in the 60s,
How does he get anything done? It's just like
yeah. That's why, because the Cold War, very big in the 60s, right? It was real popular in the 60s. The Soviets were into it, we were into it, but we never actually nuked each other. And I'm convinced it's because we were all drunk.
probably because cocktail hours still existed.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
They started 5 minutes after the last cocktail hour
See about
ended.
those.
No, you're not going to like it because it's. Oh, okay.
Is that
Go
just,
ahead.
is
Is it just water?
straight up?
No. It's not a vodka martini. It's something.
What is this garbage?
No, it's a Bombay Sapphire and tonic.
Oh, gin and tonic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
you don't
not what,
like G&T?
It's just not what I was expecting.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like G&Ts, but I don't drink gin very often.
Give me a
but-
gin and juice, but save the
Sweet
fucking juice.
Jesus.
I warned you,
You did.
Darth, but
Now-
did you listen? She never listens.
So
Where have
who,
we heard that sound before?
who here
Phrasing.
has read the Bond books? Okay, it's in my hand here. Okay. Oh, did you bring yours?
No.
Oh my God! Look at that art. Look at that artwork.
I see
And
it.
look at that picture of Ian
Honey
Fleming
Child.
on the back.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, you want to show that to the.
Yeah.
And then if they can see it, that's.
The hindsight.
And he's smoking, of course.
Did you ever see the movie? And I think it was a TV movie, so probably you didn't. Called Spy Maker: The Ian Fleming Story,
Oh yes, of course.
starring
I don't remember.
Jason Connery.
Oh, that's right.
How many Connerys are there in the
It's
world?
His
son.
son, Jason.
Yeah,
Connery.
his son.
Yes. No, that was awesome.
It was great.
Awesome.
It was so awesome because
Yes.
it's like the one where the part where he goes to his boss's house because he's a young spy.
Is anybody else bothered by the fact that he has olives in a G&T?
It was supposed to be a vodka martini until you tasted it.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Women tasting things has brought the downfall of man since the beginning of time. So there you go. I guess I'm
Well, but it's not all bad.
You're welcome.
And let's talk about Quarrel.
Quarrel.
I love Quarrel.
Such a badass. And he dies hard. Poor guy.
Yeah. He
does.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. Sorry,
Which is sad
hindsighters.
because he doesn't die. He's in 2 books. He's in 2 of the Bond.
I was about to say, he definitely dies in the movie.
No, he dies in the movie. Yeah. Well, let's talk about some differences.
Okay.
I think
Go for it.
the biggest difference between the book and the movie is the enterprise that Dr. No.
Yes.
In this one, it's a bauxite mine.
Yes.
Right. And in the book, it's
Guano.
guano. And
Do you know what guano is?
Bat shit.
Very good.
You know how I know that?
She watched Batman.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
The second
all
Ace
right.
Ventura.
Yes.
how does Dr. No meet his fate in this movie?
He gets boiled in the nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Now that's bad, but in the
That's
book,
a rough way to go.
yeah,
He gets buried in bat guano.
yeah. James
Oh,
Bond
what-
literally kills him by pouring bad
Suffocates
shit
him
all
with,
over.
I love
with
that.
bad shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
But the other cool thing about the ending of the book is that it includes a fight between James Bond and a giant squid.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Dr. No has a captive giant squid.
Like you do.
And
Did it have a laser beam on its
no,
head?
no.
No, but there was a whole, what do you call
Obstacle
it?
course?
Yeah, an obstacle, but there was a bunch of tarantulas.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That
Seriously?
He had to crawl through, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, in the scene later in the movie when he's going through the ventilation shaft, that is kind of mirroring what Dr. No did to him. He put them through this obstacle course of all these terrors. Like, it got really hot, so he took out his pockets and crawled across. There was a fire under it, and then there was a tarantulas, and he luckily had brought something with him. He gushed up all the tarantulas.
Gushed.
And then he went down the slide and into the water, and he goes, "What's coming now?" And then suddenly the tentacles come and get him. It's tough. Bond goes through a lot.
Yeah. And he makes it.
He does.
He does make it. Believe it or not,
does he
James
save a woman
Bond,
with conch shells in the book? The
Oh,
way that he
Honey
does-
Child.
Yeah.
Honey Child Rider.
Child, but she's
She definitely. But
but she's buck naked though
when she comes
of the
out,
water.
yeah.
Naturally. Not that I'm
And she does hide her shame though. Because she covers
She hides her shame.
she covers her crotch and her nose.
Her broken nose because she
has
had
a-
she had a broken nose.
She
doesn't cover her breast.
No,
she covers
she's very
her nose.
sensitive about her nose. Ian Fleming he had a deep understanding of women.
Apparently. it would definitely seem so.
I want to go back to the 60s so bad.
Well, there was an interview with it's Lois Maxwell, right? Lois Maxwell was after the rap party, and Honey Child Rider was dancing with all the men, but she wasn't wearing a bra, and all the men were very, very happy. Now, Lois said she was very envious of this woman's ability to be so free. She was a little too uptight to go without a bra.
That's totally true though.
Yes.
Just imagining
Ursula Andress.
Yeah.
My turn. Well, you already had a turn. My turn again. My turn again.
Oh, Ursula Andress.
Yes.
She her bikini sold at auction for
35,000.
35,000?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, we both had bids in, but we got outbid.
Apparently.
I started at 200. I thought I was a
Wondering why I
shoe
wasn't
in.
hanging up in the office.
it
That
was a
wasn't what
shoo-in.
we were getting you for Christmas this year, Jason. Don't worry about it.
$50. No. No.
I'm not spending $40,000.
But she got cast from what?
Oh, one picture of her in a wet T-shirt.
Yes. That's all
That's-
they
that's-
needed.
that's
That
all
is
they
all
needed.
they needed.
They had
I mean-
they had somebody else, didn't they? And then they saw that picture of her and they went, "That's her."
Oh, yes. They
That's
had
the
someone
lady.
else, and they're like, her breasts aren't big enough. So
Yeah.
they went with Ursula.
No,
It's horrible.
That's not a joke.
It's horrible, but true.
That's
I'm
absolutely.
ashamed
yeah.
as a man that it ever happened in this society.
Anyway, so speaking of women,
Underneath
Sean
the
Connery.
mango tree.
Yeah, no, that's a great song.
The only time Bond ever sang, by the way.
Yes.
But speaking of women, Sean Connery does have a very specific approach to them in the sense that, they're kind of, just errant things that he can toss away. It doesn't really matter. The women are expendable in his world. For instance, the one who's taking photos, his friend, who's his friend? The one in the red shirt?
Quarrel.
He was like,
Wow.
"Oh, you want me to break her arm?" And he's like, "Nah, don't worry about it." But you know that he could have just as easily said yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because Pierce Brosnan, and I think it's obviously a political move where they're like, "Okay, we've got to respect the women in this one, like whatever." But Pierce Brosnan was always, coming to the rescue of his Bond girls, whereas Sean Connery could give a fuck. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Pussy Galore was written the way she was.
I can't get over that name.
I'm just gonna say it like it's
I
like
know.
it's
No, I know
just
it's
the
a real
most
thing. It's
normal
just-
name. No, because Pussy Galore.
You mean a lot of vagina? Yeah. A lot of vagina. Yeah, Pussy Galore.
Who's was played by Honor
Honor-
Blackwell.
Honor
Which
Blackman.
is
Blackman.
Like Blackman.
You got honor? I got honor. Boom. Love you, hindsighters.
Yeah, actually, before we keep going, the broadcast clock says that we need to
Already?
take- I know.
I'm
we're-
having so much fun.
Yeah, this
He's
was
got to
a-
go pour himself another drink.
This was a very fast segment of broadcast magic. So we're going to be back in about 1 second. And we're back. And
Hello.
we were having a brief conversation off camera about
No, we weren't.
Sean Connery's hair and the fact that he was bald 2 movies after this one.
Honda accurate.
Yeah. But they used camera angles and other tricks to. I just love Coral doesn't even blink.
When he gets stabbed in the face.
Well,
and
when
she busts the tempera paint.
Yeah, she had a little thing of
balloon
tempera paint.
Yes.
So what did she cut him with?
I don't even know. What was that?
It was like a little bubble that she busted against the table and then just like carved into his
Yeah.
face. Like I don't. It's not silverware or anything.
No.
That would have been within.
Well, so he knows.
Adam knows.
Back in the day when you wanted a flash, What did you
it was
use?
a flashbulb.
It was a flashbulb.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then one scene she's like licking it to make sure that it gets a good contact because they were single-use flashbulbs. Took them out, you threw them away, put in a fresh one.
And how did anyone take pictures back then?
That camera's older than I am. My God.
You did not, way older.
Yeah,
you did not take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
You did not take, I have like 6 pictures when I was in college. I have like 6 every 15 minutes now.
Oh no, it's crazy now.
And mostly they're tagged by me on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I mean I was thinking
Everyone
about
knows.
like because to me like I have pictures of like my grandparents and I have very few of them and they're really precious and
Right.
like David.
I steal antique photos because it's the one thing you can't replace.
That's right.
Like when David is older, he's gonna have this like how many hours of
Slideshow.
footage do you want of your grandparents? You know, like I actually found a VHS tape about a year ago at my parents' house. I was looking for something, and I put this VHS tape in there, and it's actually like someone had filmed some family reunion on an old camcorder.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, there was actually my grandparents were in it, and like my great aunt. And it was like, it's in my safe now.
Well, see, I
Did you
love
put
that.
it? Did you digitize
I'm
it?
going to.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Yeah, make sure you
I
do
love that, and it kills me because even 10 years ago, when Millie was a puppy, I don't have her old photos anymore
Right.
because I lost the camera when I moved,
Yeah.
and because I lost the camera,
You lost the
that's
pictures.
it. I lost the pictures. I remember what she looked like when she was a baby, but that's it. That's all I've got of her as a puppy, and that kills me because I can't restore those photos because I didn't post them on Facebook. So there you go.
Now, one of the things that sort of goes along with the using camera angles to hide Sean Connery's thinning hair and all that stuff.
Was that already happening in this movie, or did that happen later?
Yeah, no, it was in this
Because
one.
it doesn't look like his hair is thinning. Like he looks like he's got nice, thick.
It
James
does look
Bond
like
hair,
it.
like Mr. Brown over here.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't know that Sean Connery's bald. I mean,
I didn't know he was bald.
in the Hunt for Red October, his wig cost $70,000.
Now that I knew.
Yes.
How did it cost that much?
It was made of elf eyebrows or something. I don't know.
It was made
Unicorn
of the,
tail.
Yeah, the most rare animal in the world.
It needs more unicorn tail.
Did he pay for it? My God.
No.
Jeez.
Studio did.
Yeah, but when they were actually building the sets, and the production design for this movie was done by a guy named Ken Adams, who is the person
That's
who
Joey's
invented.
fake name on Friends, by the way.
Now look at the lighting there. The bottom half of his face was well lit. The upper half was a little dark.
Yeah.
And you could see his hair was kind of thin in that angle. So they
Remember
were
when the movie stars just had that kind of pull, though, where they could be like, hey, light me this way.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how
Yeah.
it went down. Like, you can't do that anymore.
Nowadays, you got to be Christian Bale and scream at somebody.
You got to be Kevin Bacon Slaterson.
Yeah. but he Ken Adam is the guy who invented so much of the Bond universe that you and I, the Bond villain lair, the look
The whole
of what a
aesthetic,
Bond film was him. And when he designed the sets, particularly any set where it was going to be Sean Connery and maybe just another woman or a woman, the sets were all built slightly smaller to make him look even bigger.
What?
So they would actually like.
How egotistical was this man?
No,
My
no.
God.
Sean Connery didn't.
That was
do,
Ken Adams' thing?
That was the directors. They wanted to make Sean Connery look a
Well,
little
Sean
bigger,
Connery
so they
was
just
not
built
a
this.
slight man. He was
No,
a
he
big
wasn't. No,
man.
he was a big guy.
He was like 6'2", I want to say, at the very least, and that's tall.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious that they needed to make him feel even bigger than he was because he was already a big guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he was a big guy, and he was. Have you ever heard the advice that John Wayne gave Sean Connery?
No.
So they were. I think it was when they were filming You Only Live Twice, because they were in Japan,
Okay.
and Sean Connery ran into John Wayne, and maybe it was earlier than
And
that.
John Wayne wasn't that big of a guy. John Wayne was a little bit taller than I am, I want to say. He was not a big guy.
Well, John Wayne said, well, you're famous now. I got one piece of advice for you. Start wearing suede shoes. And Sean Connery's like, Why? And he goes,
Is that when someone pisses
when
on
you're
you? Yeah.
because you're gonna be pissing at a urinal, and some dude's gonna go, "You're John Wayne."
And he will urinate. I
Or you're
had read
Sean
that.
Connery,
There we
rather.
go.
read
That look right there.
Oh, that's great.
That angled grill with the light and that beautiful hard shadow there.
Yeah,
That's
for
reminds
listeners,
me-
it's Dr. No's lair.
Yes, it reminds me
yes.
of the Louvre, where the pyramid at the Louvre, where
yeah.
So see, it makes sense.
Will you loofah my back?
Yeah, I didn't get it because you said it all.
You've got weird fantasies. Anyway, yeah.
Sit down.
Sit down, Dent. Yes.
And I love that Dr. No put that beautiful marble floor in with the step. I mean, I would like to have seen Dr. No meeting with the guys going,
Yes.
That's not.
Can we
not
do it like
printer
this?
paper at all.
yeah. Well, they didn't
like
have
in
much of a budget.
Phantasm.
Yeah.
Where they covered everything that was supposed to be marble with
Yes.
printer paper.
We all know about that.
Yes.
But this, they had to beg to get like another $5,000 for the sets. Because, I mean, everybody thought this movie was going to tank.
Really? Why? Why did they think
nobody was happy with? I mean, the people who made the movie
'Cause I'm looking
were happy
up
with
what
it,
it
but
made
the
versus-
studio people really didn't. And they actually said, "Well, we only spent like $800,000 on it, so if we lose it all, it won't be that big of a deal."
All right.
It wasn't even promoted or anything. It was
No.
all word of mouth.
Yeah, it
All
was
word of
when
mouth.
it premiered. It was a double feature.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a double
You gotta go
feature.
see-
Apparently, it took $1 million to make. I'm trying to look at what it grossed.
I don't even know how you calculate it by this point.
It's still grossing
Yeah.
as we rent
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, that's true. This is
still
very true.
grossing.
Oh, there's Rosie.
Rosie,
Look, Dart,
the
there's Rosie.
tarantula.
There's Rosie.
It's in a cage,
It's
but,
in a
he's,
cage.
but he still has to hold it
Baby.
way out like that.
And
At
also,
least they didn't kill her with a machete like they did with
Yeah.
the snake.
Wait.
but when I kill a bug in my head, I hear the bong bong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bonk.
I actually killed a roach
Bonk.
the other day, and it was. I swear to God, it was the same.
Watch how she
oh,
checks.
yeah.
How she checks him out. I thought at first maybe she was a spy. But no, she's checking out his
She's
old
giving him the
bottom.
old up and down.
Yeah,
I'd like to gargle his marbles.
it's a reception.
Oh my.
Receptionist at the hotel.
Which that's happened to me with a celebrity. I got the up and down from a celebrity once from it.
Wait, which celebrity?
His name is Chris Holden Reed.
Oh, okay. No,
Y'all won't know who
I
he
have
is.
no idea.
he's just a celeb, not a celebrity.
He's a Canadian celeb. But,
Wow,
Yeah.
jackpot.
well, okay. I've had two different instances where Chris was a little bit more salacious than Carrie Elways. Carrie Elways saw my outfit at Dragon Con and said, "Oh, don't you look lovely?" And that was so gentlemanly and genteel. And whereas Chris Holden Reed looked me up and down and he was like, "Damn, hot and heavy." And I was like, "All right, that's different." So there you go.
Who is?
He was on a show called Lost Girl. He's not in anything that either of you would be interested in.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, not even. It's a show, but don't worry about it. He's awesome. And-
Vodka. And
Yes.
I love that he's like, no, that's
Unlike
just probably
this.
poison.
Yeah.
Let me
Unlike
get
this
my
garbage.
backup bottle.
Oh, very well played. Yes.
if you don't run with your own vodka, what the hell are you doing as a human being? My God, I just.
The one of the odd things though with Bond, the character, is
Tell us.
Ian Fleming had all these little personality quirks that were built into Bond. And
Was
a
he
lo-
more Sherlockian in the books, or like no,
No.
not at all? Okay.
He was pretty much Daniel Craig with a lot of Roger Moore built in. In fact,
Oh, and we've got to talk about that because Roger Moore also died at 90.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He and Sean Connery died the exact same age, but Sean Connery died on Halloween.
yeah.
That's
Here,
what-
no,
Oh, there you
there's
go.
the spider
There's Rosie.
on the stuntman's arm.
I can feel the centipede in
Oh,
my
look,
hair.
it's dancing. It's like nice to touch him. Let me touch it. Now, look at that. You see how he's moving
I
in the
see.
spider?
I never realized that was on glass.
Yeah.
No.
Get this fucking spider. I mean,
No.
not that I'm scared of him, but.
Oh God, they're just.
And the stuntman actually said this was the worst stunt I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, Will Smith did something similar in a crazily different movie, Wild Wild West with Kevin Kline.
Mm-hmm.
He had a tarantula on his hand.
And Sir Kenneth Branagh.
Yes, Sir
Oh, that's
Kenneth
right.
Branagh. Yeah, he was in it as
painful.
well.
After Hamlet, he needed money.
He did. Shakespeare just wasn't selling that well. But Will Smith literally had a tarantula just on his hand. And he's like, nah, they're just trying to get warm. Like, that's all they're trying to do. And I was just like, I could never play that cool as an actor with a freaking spider in my hand. Just,
bonk, bonk, bonk. I swear to God, I still do that.
you bonk the spider.
Yes,
to
I
death.
bonk him to death. That's the most effective way.
No matter what kind of the spider.
It's
or
like Pierce.
Granddaddy Longleg, tarantula.
Well, I don't kill bugs if I can avoid it.
Oh, does your wife kill the bugs at your house, Jason?
No.
Neither of us do.
No, believe me. No,
take
I'm
them
on
outside, is
I'm
what
on
you're
bug
saying.
patrol at my house.
But you take them outside, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
I cannot express how much I hate. My wife and my son will get up, and I usually sleep a little bit later. And the worst thing is if they find a bug right when they wake up, because I just wake up
Do they
screaming.
squeal?
Maybe there's a chance they're going to take care of this themselves. Nope. All right. No, I try to.
Suck
I
David
scoop
in
them
a
up and I take them outside.
I do the same thing. Like when I worked at Starbucks, we had the door open because it was summertime, and we had the drive-through door open, and a bee came in, and my manager, not a bead, a bee.
What am I going to do with all
You do
these
this to me
bees?
every
I know.
time. But a bee flew in, and my manager, who was he was a bit genteel.
It was a fagula.
Sure. He was freaking out, and he was like, "Oh my God, kill it!" And I was like, "Calm down." So I took a little small Dixie cup and a little lid, and I just took the bee
Yeah,
outside.
see?
And my other manager, James, he walked in. He's like, "What the hell are you freaking doing right now?" And I was like, "I'm releasing a bee into the wild." And he was like, "Why?" I said, "Because Kevin's freaking out." And he was like, "Proceed." Like I don't even know what to say to you right now.
Because, the bee's not hurting me.
No, I
He just got
captured
in
him in
here.
a little cup, and
Yeah, it's
put him
not his
outside.
fault. Yeah.
He's helping the environment.
Yeah.
He's
I've
doing his
told you
job.
the story about the bat in the house.
No, what about the bat?
I have never told you this story.
No, tell us about the bat.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know how I was saying about the bug thing? Yeah. There's one that's a hell of a lot worse is when your wife calls you when you're at work and says, "There's a bat in the house." And she's got to repeat it like 7 times because I'm like, "What? There's a what?
There's a what in
There's
the
a
where?
What? What?"
There's a bat in your attic? What?
One day they pulled into the garage. The garage door was still open. And she opens the door to go into the house and
The bat
Oh,
goes
no.
right in.
just straight into the house.
And a bat is bigger than your dog, which is the only animal.
This was before Sid. This was pre-Sid.
Even with Sid, like Sid
Yeah.
is not big enough to combat a bat.
Oh, no.
he's not.
He wouldn't even bother.
He'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's
No,
fair."
when there's a bug in the house, you can always tell
lives there now.
Sid is in whatever point in the house is farthest away from the bug. And
Well, Sid is
yeah,
approximately
yeah.
this big, hindsight. So
Tiny,
don't worry. Yeah,
tiny
he's
dog.
a teeny little guy.
Did you throw a towel over
He's
it?
my little
How'd you get
buddy.
Well, first I get home and we're looking everywhere for the bat. And I've never seen the bat, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Guys, are you
you
absolutely sure?" And of course, that's the worst. That's not the right thing to say to your wife.
No. You're making me feel crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very sure. So I'm like going all over, and you've been in my house. You've seen the basement, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it was laid out differently back then, but so I'm going through the basement. I'm like, "There's no bat here," and there's that one window,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
and it's way the hell up. So I'm like, maybe he's up by the window.
He's just hanging out.
So I go and I get a ladder and I climb up and I don't see anything. And we had window blinds up at that time, and I take the blinds and I kind of like move them a little bit to see if No, it was even creepier. It was actually kind of sweet because like I moved the thing and all of a sudden I see this little hand come up.
Yeah, they have hands.
Yeah, and it was like a little person's hand, and it like lifts up
Yeah,
and looks at me.
They'll peek at you. They're
Yeah.
like, "What's going on?"
And I'm like, okay, I can't kill this thing.
No,
they're so
I
sweet.
cannot
They're,
kill
they're
this
air
thing.
puppies. They're sky puppies.
Oh, I know. I love bats.
Yeah, they're sweet as all get out.
Very fortunately, that week,
Like a submarine, Mr.
had-
Wayne, like a submarine.
I had gotten a poster in the mail,
Mm-hmm.
so I had a poster tube.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
It was so
Yeah.
I
Just
take
stick them in there. Yeah.
So I take the tube and I just sort of slide it and slide it, And the poor thing was so scared.
Yeah, because
And
you're this giant thing that's just like encasing it.
Yeah,
It's
and I
so
think
bad.
I think it saw the dark inside, and it scooted.
It skittered, yeah.
And as soon as it got in there, and I capped up the other end, and you could hear the sonar. You could just hear click, 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 click,
Oh,
click,
and
click,
he's
click, click,
freaking
click.
out, poor baby.
Yeah, took him outside, opened it up, and he flew away, and had a bunch of little bat babies, and hopefully,
Hopefully he's Batman now.
yeah, hopefully he's Batman now.
Poor baby. But so James Bond.
Yes.
Yes,
There's a
not
movie.
driving an Aston Martin. Not.
They couldn't afford the Aston Martin. Yeah. They have a little rental car.
This was the early James Bond.
Oh, and
years.
speaking of, before I forget, do you know why they were very interested in Ursula Andress, other than her assets?
No.
She was unknown,
Assets.
which means
Oh, she's not going to charge that much.
that's right.
Yeah, we don't got to pay her.
She's not expensive.
$6,000.
$6,000.
She made.
Oh,
in this
and the
movie.
background while he's in the car. I love that. Just the fact that. That's
Oh, the
one-
old process shot.
Yeah, that's one thing
Yeah.
that always stuck with me because I grew up watching these movies. Don't get me wrong, I've seen this
And
one.
the
It's not
hearse
just
chase.
Yeah, I know.
it's not just Mandela effect. I've actually seen this movie because I
Yeah.
grew up watching James Bond movies with my dad. He loves James Bond. That's his whole deal. That and Star Trek. So I grew up watching those with him. But watching, the
I know.
shots when
And
he's
look how
driving,
big the car
and,
is.
and
Yeah.
he's steering the steering wheel like he should
Yeah.
be.
And
He
there's
should have
just a
driven off
guy,
the road by
there's
now.
just people like shaking the car,
Big fan blowing his hair right now.
And it's like it's
His
so
wig comes off.
It's so clear that Sean Connery has never driven a car in his life because he's seriously just like doing this with
Well,
his steering
and
wheel.
I love that they have the sound effect when the car it's like
Squealing
it's like
on dirt.
You're on dirt. You can't do that.
so
And then
bad.
like the clanging sound when it's
Clang,
I guess
clang,
it's hitting
clang,
his
quack.
car, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it at all.
No, it's pretty bad.
And this is one of the weird Bond one-liners because first of all, the car goes off the cliff and erupts.
the hearse goes off
The coffin in the back must
Calamity
have been
Jane
full of
style.
gasoline.
It was full of propane.
Yes, but
It
the
explodes.
but the guy comes up and says, "How did it happen?" And Bond says, "I think he was late for the funeral," and then walks away. And I just imagine the guy going, "What the fuck does that mean?"
I know. Oh, we don't have subtitles. Can we put subtitles?
Oh yeah. Like, that doesn't answer my question.
I think he was late for the funeral.
And the dude in Jamaica is just like, yeah, I guess that's a pretty good response. Whatever. like
Zena Marshall
whatever.
as Miss Tarot.
I don't remember
Malou
Miss Tarot.
Pantera.
I love hitting this button so you see all the
all the people who are
Malou.
supposedly in the scene, which they aren't. But
And I think they decided to write in the humorous stuff because they wanted to take the edge off of the
Right.
violence. It was a lot of death, and he just kind
that
of
makes sense.
lightened
Yeah.
it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's one of the things with the Daniel Craig Bond, as far as going back to the books, because like Casino Royale, there's nothing lighthearted.
No, that movie's dark as hell.
No.
Like,
It is.
James Bond gets the tar beaten out of him. Like it's just that whole movie is rough to watch.
But if you read the books, I mean, James Bond, he is a tough guy. I mean, he was what he was a commando. Because like you read the books, and the books are fixed in time.
yeah,
So it's like he was a commando in World War II.
yeah.
You know.
So it fits
and-
with the timeline a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, you're not dead.
This is so Archer. It hurts.
You're
My
not
God.
dead.
Yeah,
And she's not Asian.
And
clearly.
he's totally like, I'm gonna bang this chick and then call and have her arrested.
Right. Yeah.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Clean up on all my panties.
Could drown a dachshund.
Yes.
But yeah, this movie really made me realize how much Archer actually
Oh,
rips
yeah.
off of James Bond. Because I haven't seen this one in so long. I haven't seen Dr. No in a hot minute. But Archer clearly rips off of James Bond
Oh,
quite a
absolutely.
bit.
Totally.
Especially in the earlier seasons. Oh, he's smelling her towel.
He was wiping his mouth, actually.
Oh, is that what he's
Yeah.
doing? Okay. See,
Just in case it was poison, I suppose.
because no, he hasn't come across that yet. The coffee's poisoned, right? Or
Yes.
it's
in Dr. No's lair.
it's dosed rather in Dr. No's lair because they drink the coffee and then he and what's her name,
Chloral
Honeychild Rider.
Yeah.
the one who collects the conch shells. Yeah, they pass the F out. So it's funny how much setup this movie takes. Because
yeah,
it's a surprisingly long movie for a Bond film. Like it could have been good at like a tight hour and 15, hour and a half. But when I watched it, I don't know if it's because it had commercials. It was 2 hours long. So is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
about
it was
2
the
hours,
commercials
yeah.
that made it. Oh, it actually is 2 hours, or
It's like an hour and 50.
1 hour and 50 minutes, but I'm sure they cut some and then inserted commercials, so you probably
Oh, and
missed.
she's clutching her chest right now. I know you guys had qualms with that. Look, no hands.
Yes.
And he just goes to town.
Yeah, I mean, why not? When you're an international man of mystery and you have a license to kill, why not sleep?
1962.
Why not sleep with every woman that you can in the meantime? Who cares?
Now, I thought I read that Fleming loved Connery, but he didn't like this movie too much.
That's what I
I thought he didn't like Connery at all. But then he changed his mind when he saw
he didn't
him.
want Connery initially, but then when he saw Connery, he liked Connery in the role, but he didn't like the way it was shot, or he thought it was
okay.
I don't know. I'd have to reread it, but
What a great story.
he's a complex man, Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
But you know what I loved about that Ian Fleming with Jason Connery? They showed all the hints to where he got all of his ideas for the movie.
Yeah.
I loved that film. What was it called again?
Spy Maker?
Spy Maker.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was like a TNT movie.
Yes,
or
it was
something.
made for
Yeah, it was a
television.
TV
It
movie,
wasn't-
yeah.
Well, here's my question. If James Bond didn't take the time to sleep with so many women, couldn't he get his missions done so much more quickly
Yeah,
than
but
he
why
does?
hurry?
But the benefits.
Yeah, I hurry. It's actually one of the things
Fringe
that,
benefits.
Yes.
one of the things that I love about the Bond books
He
is
never worked a day in his life.
yeah,
But the benefits.
find a job you love.
That's
Oh
right.
my god.
And I just love he even go ahead and get dressed. Yeah, make yourself up. Yeah, take your time, do your hair. You're under arrest.
Yep.
Who are you? Get your ass in there.
Bye, bitch.
Careful of her nail varnish.
Now watch when he screws on. This is a little gaff. When he screws on his silencer, they didn't have the prop PPK, so they had to grab another one. And it's not a Walther PPK. They couldn't find it.
Mel Gibson must have
Oh no,
melded
that's right.
it to something.
No. I'm sorry. The PPK didn't have an adapter for a silencer,
So they
they had
just used something
another
else.
prop. Another prop.
Like I
gun.
said, Mel Gibson just melded it on.
Yeah. Oh, look at him. What am I going to do?
Yes, I'm going to kill some time here. Well, first I'm going to drink something.
He already killed plenty of time screwing that lady and then screwing her over. So there you go.
Well, back then spying was more of a process. It was a thing. It was a journey.
was a gentleman's game.
It was a journey you went on.
Gentleman's game.
One of the things I loved about the Bond books was, Ian Fleming would take all this time describing Bond,
Oh my God, it
like
was
his
so
evening
descriptive.
routine.
Yes.
And like him shaving and it was like Ian Fleming knew I'm going to put all this stuff in there to sort of tell men how to be James Bond. And that was one of the things that was so cool about the books. It's like, well, if I do this, it's like, well, this is how Bond dresses. This is how he shaves. This is how he makes his drinks, and it's,
Shaken, not stirred.
yeah.
Chips.
And he puts the music on.
Which, I mean,
'Cause
any idiot who drinks a proper martini wants it shaken.
And is this
not
the
stirred.
first time anyone's ever done this with the pillows? Is this where this came from?
I think there was one movie where this was done prior. I was reading some trivia.
Where he basically made it look like there was somebody sleeping in the bed?
Yes.
Okay, so the hindsighters know, because
Can't
I don't know if
remember.
the camera's on the...
You're right.
It's on that, yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so he's basically making it look like there's somebody there. But why is he bothering to do that when he already got the woman arrested? He's making it look like
Because
she's
someone's
there,
coming.
Yeah, because
No,
he knows that someone's going to come and try to kill him.
and he's just waiting for that person so he can shoot them.
He figured out.
no, here it goes. Watch, ready? That's not a Walter
is the-
PPK. What's a Smith & Wesson?
That's a Smith & Wesson, yeah.
You
I
had
have
your
one
six.
of those, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And he's playing solitaire,
Well, he didn't have an iPhone.
waiting for...
You know,
That's
but that's
true.
what he'd be doing now.
He couldn't play it online, so because this is what 1962.
Two, yeah.
So yeah,
It was shot in 3 months,
That's incredible.
January through March of '62.
that is
How much
impressive
fun? How much fun would that have been?
because the Green Lantern took way longer than that and cost $200 million.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
That episode that you were here for, but not here for, Mr.
I
Bell.
know. I remember.
It was so special.
This guy gets
Sit
told
down.
to sit down a lot.
Yeah,
I know by
Yeah.
everyone.
And he just does it.
He doesn't have garters on. What's
No, he
going on with
doesn't.
that?
Yeah,
In the
and-
60s, he should have garters on. Sean Connery should.
No, that was. I think even in the '60s, that was already on its way.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was on its way up. And that's literally just to hold up your socks, right,
Yes.
gentlemen?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what
Oh, yeah.
that's for? Okay. I thought so.
That's
but-
why elastic sock bands were such a big deal. Oh, my socks stay up. I don't need a garter.
Oh, those scientists down in Argentina, my God.
This movie does make me want to smoke.
I know.
That's the only problem.
I'm with you on that. We have to teach Mr. Brown how to smoke
I've
something
never
that's not
smoked
gum.
before, but I try. I'll chew this later. Look at that. Click, click. It's a Smith & Wesson.
Chew me.
And you've had your
Ew.
six.
That was no. She was in Man with the Golden Gun. Chew me.
Oh, chew me.
Oh, nice. Oh my God, that was awesome. Well done. Well done, you.
That was another thing that like in the Bond naming of women. You would think that Pussy Galore is going to be the one. That's the absurd one, right?
That's-
And it's not, because along came this movie where they had a character named Christmas Jones, and
Yeah.
her name was Christmas only so that James Bond could say, "I thought Christmas only came once a year."
Yes.
That was the only reason her name was Christmas, was for that line. And it really didn't work. It was a terrible movie.
It sounds it.
That was The World Is Not Enough.
I'm sure I've seen that one.
Which,
It's just,
oh God, it's so horrible. It's
I've
not
seen
as
it
bad.
during Thanksgiving week.
It's
never
not as
one-
bad as Die Another Day.
It's never one I've sat down to
Yeah.
watch. Yeah.
Die Another Day is just garbage.
Yeah.
But
Some of them are. It just
yeah,
some of them are genuinely terrible, and I hate to say that because you want to love James Bond throughout, but no.
all right.
So,
Well, favorite Bond.
ooh,
Favorite Bond movie.
Bond movie. Okay. Shoot. It's sadly gonna rest on a Pierce Brosnan one because that's the Bond that I grew up with.
I see. Mine's sort of controversial because mine is actually Casino Royale,
I was going to say Casino Royale with.
It's a good one. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
because it's James Bond.
It is.
It's
Particularly when he puts him in the chair and his testicles hang through
and he
the
just
chair.
he's laughing at him.
Yes. And the whole time I
Oh,
was,
so the Daniel Craig Casino Royale.
Yeah, no, not
Oh,
the
okay. I
not
was
the
like-
Orson Welles.
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, Woody Allen one. No,
Gotcha.
Although Ursula
That
Andress
is a
was in
good
that.
one, and your girl is in it, Eva Green.
Oh yeah, Eva Green.
yeah, we know you love
Now
Eva
the
Green.
soundtrack from the '60s Casino Royale was done by Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, and it's awesome.
And the sound, like the main song from Casino Royale with Daniel Craig was Jack White, and I want to say Alicia Keys.
No, that was Quantum of Solace.
That was Quantum of Solace.
No,
okay.
it was Chris. Crap. It was You Know My Name by. Oh, he killed himself.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Martin.
No, Chris Martin.
No,
is
Chris
from
Martin
No,
is
Chris-
Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Oh man,
not
I'm gonna have to
coming.
look it up. Shoot. Oh, you're looking it up. Cool. Yeah. Oh, damn. I
He
didn't
was
know
a very
that.
talented artist, but very
But Eva
troubled.
Green, sorry. Oh no, she did die in the one movie that she was in with Daniel Craig. You're right. Okay, so she didn't survive more than one Bond girl filming either.
Right, and she actually that is one of the interesting things about the Chris Cornell.
Oh, right.
Chris
Chris
Cornell.
Cornell. Yeah.
Chris Cornell.
Oh God, I had forgotten that
Yeah.
he killed
From
himself.
Soundgarden? What was he
yeah,
from?
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, that's right.
Eva Green, one of the things about that movie that I thought was so cool was in the book, Vesper Lynn, James Bond is in love with Vesper Lynn. He's going to leave the spying business
Yeah, to be with her.
to be with her and finds out that she's a traitor and she dies. And whenever M says something about her, like, do you need some time off? And in the book, he says, no, the bitch is dead. And they left, and I was really impressed that they left that line in the movie,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, because he was clearly so hurt by the fact that she died
Yeah.
and she betrayed him and all that other stuff. Like it was heartbreaking to watch because
Right.
James Bond never has his heart broken.
No.
That's
Except
On Her Majesty's Secret
yeah,
Service.
when Tracy died. Yeah.
But it doesn't happen very often.
Oh, no,
is
it's
all
very
I'm
rare.
saying. It's like when it does happen, it is truly heartbreaking because he doesn't get attached that.
You know,
much.
there was a Bond book that he didn't get laid in.
Oh, there's Lana.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
No, seriously,
Spy Who Loved Me?
I didn't realize
No.
how
No,
much Archer has ripped off of James
Oh,
Bond
yeah.
because that's Lana's
yeah.
bathing suit. That's Lana everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Custom made too.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, it was like made from like an old army web belt and some other stuff. And
Really?
this movie like launched the bikini. Like bikini sales went crazy after
Oh,
this
so I
movie
can blame
came.
this movie for
Yes.
making women uncomfortable forever.
Yes.
Like, that's
Yes.
great. Because I would wear that before I'd wear more modern bikinis, because honestly, that actually covers more of you. Than,
Well, that's what she said. She was surprised everyone, was so excited because it was a very large bikini.
Yeah.
She wore much smaller bikinis normally.
No,
If anything at all, yes.
Scandinavian.
Oh, and I believe her voice is dubbed.
It is.
in this.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Is it?
it is dubbed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like Mad Max style, or
Yes, Mad
really?
Max style.
They and I think
She's got this weird-ass accent.
Yeah, 2 other movies that she did, the same person dubbed her. So it was like people just assumed that's Ursula Andress's voice because every time they saw her, that's what she sounded like.
Oh wow.
There was a bad guy who was dubbed. Goldfinger. Gert Frobe.
No,
Gert
I've
Fro-
never heard this.
When Gert Frobe was cast, they watched a movie. He was a German actor. They watched a movie with him in it. And he was menacing and evil, and they went, "Oh my God, this is him. He's perfect for Goldfinger." And they hired him.
But then they heard his voice.
Well, no, he didn't speak English.
Oh no.
He spoke no English.
Oh, okay.
And so he kind of mumbled his lines, and they had to go back in and dub over Goldfinger's voice.
They should have done that with Highlander.
Now, see, look, they framed it differently here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Frame what
It's a
differently?
tighter
So
frame.
you're
I got the HD one.
from Amazon or from
It was Amazon, yeah.
Really?
It was on
What are we
Amazon.
talking about, guys?
The guy's head. I showed you the guy's head. Actually, it
Oh,
may
Sean
not have
Connery's
happened
head?
yet. No, the technician's head right by her vagina.
Oh,
It was right. I think it was in this scene here.
It was the 60s. They called it a padinda.
Oh, that's right. They called it the yaya.
yeah, sisterhood. Anyway,
No, Ursula Andress. Oh no, a black man. No,
let me
he's-
pull my knife.
Fetch my
shoes. Fetch my shoes.
He's okay.
I just love that they've got, Sean Connery and high waters or
Yeah.
clam diggers, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Capris.
Well, they're all different. You've got pedal pushers, clam diggers, and high waters. They're all different, and I can't remember what the differentiation is right now. I'll put it in the show notes. But honestly, there's a difference between the 3. But they've got him in capris.
That's what
I want to say.
That's what we call them. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we actually do need to take another break. We've already burned through another half hour.
Oh my goodness.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I
It's been
feel
so
good.
exciting.
So we're going to be back in about 1 second. And we're back.
Oh, we're
It's
already on.
so good to be back.
I should probably put my headphones on.
You should.
Hi, hindsighters.
And we are still watching.
Dr. No.
Let's talk about Dr. No a little bit.
Yeah, we've talked through this movie a good deal because there's quite a bit of setup.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest, like we haven't really gotten into the
mystery.
action of it yet.
Yeah, it's a mystery. You've got the established, okay, well, it's kind of a whodunit,
Yeah.
in the beginning. And then there's just this mysterious character named Dr. No who's always, lurking at the edges of whatever James Bond is doing, trying to find out who killed Strangways.
Right.
And now we're on the island, we're on the mysterious Crab Key.
Yes.
And we are
Underneath the mango tree.
and now we're finally going to get a chance to see the villain of the piece.
This is true. We're coming up on that. And meanwhile, you've got James and sorry, I keep forgetting the girl, Honey
Honey
Child.
Child.
Honey Child.
Ryder.
Honey
She read the
Child
entire
Ryder.
encyclopedia.
Yes. Only to M, I think.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she still knows more. I still know more than you do.
Yep.
very
She's read
insecure.
every encyclopedia. I'm up to T now or whatever it is. And that's true. She knows more than James Bond. Good for her.
And they're talking about the dragon, because of course the dragon has been hinted at that on Crab Key. It's guarded by a dragon.
Yeah.
And of course
it's just like a
it's a-
tank-like
yeah, it's a-
car.
it's like a-
it's
it's a-
very Death Race 2000.
Yeah, it's something
Yes.
that anyone who saw it would immediately go.
It was a swamp buggy covered in metal sheeting.
There you go.
Grandpa's concern for you is fleeting. But yeah, so we've got Honey Child involved in the equation now, and to be fair, James Bond does look after her as best as
yeah.
he can.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't write her off super easily. He tries to get her to safety, and Dr. No What happens? So Dr. No does have them to dinner. We're kind of skipping ahead, but they wind up on Dr. No's little island bunker.
Yes, yeah.
And
His lair.
With his
henchmen.
with his naked cat.
Yes.
He is one white cat away from being a super villain.
Well, Bond has gone where Dr. No has taken great lengths to keep everyone else out of,
yeah.
which is Crab Key.
Yes.
And of course, Crab Key is the place where he is operating his radio devices that he's going to use to topple American missiles as they launch from Florida.
Take over the world.
Well, he's not even going to take over the world. He's in it for the money.
Oh, that's true. He's a highest bidder kind of
Because
villain.
that's the thing,
you're right.
Ian Fleming was very smart whenever he invented the whole Spectre outfit.
Okay.
Because you've got the Soviets, but with Spectre, they're just bad guys.
Well,
That's
he
their
anticipated
job.
an end to the Cold War, and he wanted to write more and more books.
Yeah, smart guy.
There you go.
I mean, he's still writing books, and he's been dead for years.
I know.
Damn mosquitoes. We can all relate to that in Georgia, especially damn mosquitoes.
Yeah, but rubbing salt water on you doesn't really do shit.
No, it doesn't. Because Jason taught me a life hack the other day, hindsighters. When you're being followed by a mosquito that just won't stop pestering you, you stop breathing for a second, you take a deep breath, you keep walking because it's the carbon dioxide that they're following.
true.
Apparently,
Right, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so
you
that
didn't?
was I was not aware.
So
So that's a nice little
you'll
life
break
hack
the
for next
trail.
summer.
And the mosquitoes are like, what the hell?
Where'd he go?
He's invisible.
He's lost without
Where
a
is
trace.
she? Where is she?
So they do eventually get captured by Dr. No.
Yes,
Yes.
the team does.
And Dr. No does. And that's the thing. In 1962, when they were doing this,
German
it
shepherds.
it was all fresh. So the idea that, I'm going to put you in an overly elaborate
I'm going to put you
manner
in a layer
of-
with sharks with laser beams on their
Yeah,
heads.
it was like, this was new. It was funny. It was totally believable that Dr. No would say, well, instead of just shooting you, I'm going to do this crazy, weird thing that you're obviously going to escape from.
That's all I could think about. I was like, God, you're a Bond villain. You're just giving your whole plan away. My God, he just laid it all out for James Bond.
He was new, though.
Yeah.
He was new.
It was a new concept back then. Yes, you're right.
And they had to come up with...
They all have COVID now because they open their eyes in like a Bahamian river. It just...
Yeah, they've got something.
Yeah, there's something else in that water.
The Nassau.
But yeah, so
water.
Dr. No does, he's got this whole elaborate, deathy scheme that he's going to run. Okay, so it's like you're seeing this for the first time, and this is the prototype.
Yes.
This is the movie that they're going to be ripping off. Not the Bond franchise, but there's literally going to be 1,000 movies in like Flint.
Well, I was just going to say, in like Flint.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I thought of when I watched this, in like Flint.
And it's totally, that's actually an enjoyable movie.
Yeah. James Coburn.
Yeah, James Coburn. Yeah, but then if you look at movies like, Agent Super Dragon, Operation Little Brother.
Sure.
There were so many of these horrible, mainly Italian ripoffs of James Bond.
Okay.
And they all, and then,
Had to.
Oh.
Sorry, when James Bond kills somebody. Yeah.
Oh, she's hard. She doesn't
Why?
like to see that.
Because I had to.
Because I had to.
But so it was all fresh in this one. And so you've got this audience sitting here in 1962 and they don't know what to expect. And imagine watching a Bond film and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Danger. Do not pass this point. You'd think they would have seen that sign. Yeah. Damn.
If they had seen it, they wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, that's
They
so
missed
true.
it.
But why?
But look at the waterfall. Looks stunning.
Oh, yeah.
That is in Jamaica, right?
The waterfall
Oh,
is
yeah.
stunning. I'm more looking at Sean Connery right now.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
I think
notice
it
the
was,
people.
I think they filmed this next
dragon
door
jets.
to Noel Coward's place.
Yes, because Noel Coward would
Yeah.
often happen upon here. I think he even wanted Noel Coward to play M originally.
I think he did. Yeah.
And
you know who Noel Coward is.
And Noel Coward said,
you have an
Dr.
English degree. You don't know who Noel Coward is.
I don't know who everyone
Come
is just because I have a freaking English degree.
Blythe Spirit, right? Noel Coward, he wrote Blythe
British
Spirit.
poet,
Okay.
And playwright.
playwright,
And
yeah.
playwright, yes.
All right.
famous,
Very famous.
fancy boy.
Yes.
Fancy boy.
But I think I was reading somewhere, and I'm going to not do this justice, but when they translate to other countries. In Japan, it said, "Say no to your physician." Doctor, no.
That's seriously like Joey on Friends.
That's awesome.
When he's writing a reference letter for Monica and Chandler, and he finds a synonym for Joey, and it's sincerely baby kangaroo or something like that. And it's just like, come on.
But
man.
you could see a Japanese person. Oh, say no to your physician. Let's see what this movie's about. Not what I expected.
Where was physician?
To be absolutely fair, the title doesn't make sense in English either. Like,
No.
It doesn't tell you anything
Well,
about the story.
yeah,
rather.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's about Dr. No, but that doesn't tell you anything about what's going to happen in the story. It
doesn't.
Well, no.
You could say no to your physician. That could have been how it started, and then you could have
True.
gone on this adventure.
By the way, it was Moonraker was the book that he didn't get laid in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in the book Moonraker,
the one time James Bond didn't get laid.
no, it's interesting because in the book, Doctor, oh God, what's her? She had a Goodhead,
Olive.
Dr. Goodhead.
In the movie.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah, Dr. Goodhead.
Okay, I must have missed that one.
Phrasing.
First, boom.
But no, but like in the very beginning, she tells him she's married, and then they go through the whole book, and then at the end, he's like, "So," and she's like, "No, I told you in the beginning, I'm married."
Married.
And leaves, and he's
Taken.
like, "Oh, end of book."
Roll book credits.
Shit.
Guess James Bond isn't getting laid this time.
I'll be in the basement, doing what? What do you think?
Biting lemons.
That was a Roger Moore, because if it had been Sean Connery, he would have gotten laid.
No, this is happening.
Sorry. Anyway, the dragon's coming now, and it turns out
Phrasing.
I'm not even.
it's not a real dragon.
It's just it's a Death Race 2000 car.
They're
Yes.
coming hard, and
It shall go hard. But yeah, they keep crossing the river, which is
I love that Sean Connery has a little bit of sweat, just like the little patch.
they've got this very raccoon-oriented mind where, keep crossing the water so the hound dogs can't find us. Like that, you cross the river and the dogs won't find you. So
Yeah.
there you go. But
So Quarrel is about to meet his fiery end.
yes, he is.
Look,
Like,
it's obviously not a dragon.
it's a car with a flamethrower, which is somehow even less believable.
Yeah, I think that's probably something I could get away from.
Yeah, as long as you, it's like in Jurassic Park, when they're
Yeah.
going down the tree trying to get away from the Jeep that's falling down on them. Move sideways.
Yeah, go sideways.
Move sideways. Serpentine bad boots. Serpentine. That's
Like the tank thing just looks like it's barely able to make it.
oh yeah, it's clearly just covered in a bunch of extra heavy metal and shoots fire a little bit.
Just get behind it.
And seriously,
Just get behind it.
Yeah, get on the side of it or behind it or whatever. Like it doesn't matter.
I think anything would cause that to look like a turtle on its back,
Just tilt it over and you'll be fine.
But fair play, they painted the teeth on it and everything.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
I mean, that
they
would be
detailed it.
That
very
would be
well.
pretty freaky if you were out in the wilderness and
Pretty
you saw
freaky deaky, huh? So yeah, that's the first line of defense on Dr. No's island.
Right.
that. Let's talk about the lair, Dr. No's lair.
Yes, let's talk about the lair.
Because again, it established that the Bond bad guy lair was established in this movie.
Are they ill-tempered?
And you know the story about the fish.
Tell us.
Yes.
I don't.
So
Tell me.
there's a line in the movie where Dr. No refers to the glass on these tanks having a magnifying effect on the fish, makes them look bigger. And the reason is because they realized when they went to shoot that scene, they didn't have any footage of fish. And the only footage of fish that they could find was very close up.
It looked like Desktop 95 with it was like a background on the computer.
Right. So it's like we got to rewrite this a little bit.
Yeah, so they had to put that line in there because it's like, why are those goldfish so big?
Well, those goldfish,
It's convex.
there you go.
Yes.
So, there are huge fish at Dr. No's lair, and they don't have laser beams on their heads, but they are very,
But they did
picturesque.
borrow a lot of actual decontamination and radioactive equipment, radioactive detecting equipment for this movie.
Yeah, like-
They
And
borrowed it.
answer that for me. What's with the radioactivity? Why is there so much radiation? Wait, there's good cholesterol?
Wait, I don't even remember. Why was there?
Yeah,
He's got
seriously.
a
why is
nuclear
there-
plant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got.
Why
okay.
though?
Because
Is that part of his
power?
60s, and that was hot in the 60s.
radiation?
What bad guy wouldn't have? Come on.
He had to power the little antenna that comes out. We need a nuclear plant for this.
Dear God.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So there's radiation.
They also have raves, and so it's a little house. It's a little.
They got to power it somehow. But yeah, so I don't get this. They have like a tray of food and coffee ready for
They're
James
so
Bond
welcoming.
and his girl.
Well,
They're
it's the
so
typical.
hospitable.
Come, Mr. Bond. Come, sit
look
down,
at the
James.
size of that thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Size of what thing?
the
Phrasing.
too
Twink.
much. Wait, too much for the monitor? But they're burying the needle? Yeah, take a shower.
Oh, look. Cover them with
it.
shaving cream. Make it kinky.
Now, as somebody with experience in the atom smashing business,
Yes.
Adam smashing.
No, not
Dirty.
really.
that's it. Just a no.
Yeah.
No analysis. It's just that none of this works.
And there was some concern that she was actually nude while she was being decontaminated. But if you watch her as she just comes out, she's got a little one-piece brown bathing suit on.
Well, she's got her bikini on from
Oh
earlier.
No,
not in a minute. Watch this. You'll see.
because she's going to take her clothes off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
And I love how he
boss.
He's got handcuffs up.
Take these off.
Yeah.
You guys are so adorable. I get to see that kind of equipment every day.
Okay, where did that go?
Naked lady equipment.
Oh, I know. You know, if I were a naked lady, I'd stare at myself for hours and hours.
That's what I'm saying. I get to see that every day.
And
I'm
also,
bored
this is the
with it
part
by
where
now.
Ursula Andress pees, and she keeps having to pee over and over again. No, I'm kidding.
What? Oh, man.
Evacuation company.
Yes. Well, yeah, this is from Austin Powers.
No.
Now watch, look.
Oh yeah,
She's got the one piece,
Yeah.
one piece bathing suit on.
Man, you
Terrence-
guys were hard up when you first watched this
Well,
film,
we wanted to
weren't you?
make sure that if there was anything,
Terrence,
we were going to see it.
I think we could see the bathing
my.
suit in the shot. No, it's fine. Move on. We got to shoot the rest of the movie.
Move on.
We've got another week left. We got to go.
Wow, now they're not radioactive.
Yeah, because they had a shower
Hey, don't get me wrong. A shower helps.
and some really good soap.
Yeah. By the way, the soap's going to give you cancer, but
But you know,
potato.
it'll be all right.
Look at that door. I want that. I want my bathroom door. to
Pure
be-
copper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
I got to
copper
take a
boom.
leak.
I want a bond layer for a house. That's
Oh,
just, you know.
Well, do you know why ships don't have round doors? They're like,
Why?
I don't know. Because think about it. If you delivered that door and you delivered it to one side of the wall,
How could you get it in
couldn't
the
get
ship?
it through to the other side.
Yeah.
And that's why ships have those, because then you can turn it aside, you put it through.
Okay. That makes
But that would not work at all. 'Cause we got to blow another hole in the wall to get it through. Yes.
That makes
that's
sense.
It's almost like this was designed by the government.
Ship trivia.
Who knows? But yeah, so we've got just this huge welcoming
They're
committee.
so hospitable.
I know. This is like the what?
And of course, the first thing James Bond does is smoke.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course he's got.
There
To.
you
I mean,
go.
I need a
Cigarette.
cigarette. But then he says something kind of nasty to them. I can't remember, but something that made me feel a little.
Well, he's a
uncomfortable.
dick.
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, James Bond is a dick.
Yeah, he
You
absolutely
know,
is.
there's no two ways about that.
You don't become a hammer without being a dick. Like, the
He'll be
two go
delighted if
hand
you'll
in
join
hand.
him for dinner. Tell him I'll also be delighted. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
He
So,
says something.
and this was just so scandalous. They put Honeychild in the same room as Mr. Bond.
Gonna have
They
to
just-
pretend to be married.
I'm Mrs. Bond for the weekend, I guess.
Well, actually, Dr. No's been cheating on his taxes.
Oh shit!
I claimed 007 as my spouse.
He's my dependent. But,
Here's
yeah.
some clothes. We didn't get your sizes till last night.
I hope
don't
they
remember
fit.
how they did that last night, personally.
And just they
Oh, such as can I get you anything? Such as 2 air tickets to London. Oh, he's so cute.
And they go through all of this trouble just to knock him out.
yeah,
Like 2 minutes
that's what
into
I'm
it.
saying. Is that they try the coffee and then they're out.
They don't
Like,
even
it
have
just-
time for
Is that a Papa song?
Rollin' the hay, rollin' the hay. Rollin' the hay.
Yeah, their beds are so far apart.
I love
What's-
that. How can you eat now? Because I'm hungry.
We don't know when we'll eat again.
But and he's like, act normal and keep your voice low. They're probably recording
it's wired
everything
for
that we're
sound.
saying. And then they just knock them the hell out. It's pointless. It makes no sense. It's such an elaborate ruse, you big dumb idiot.
It's an extraordinarily elaborate ruse.
Yeah.
Actually, Dr. No hired all of those people the day before.
And the creepy part
They're
is
actually
that
all actors. He's going to kill every one of them.
and he comes in when James Bond is asleep and just sort of feels James's arm or something, and it's just
that was
what
weird.
the hell?
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything else. He just comes in and sort of gropes James Bond, and
It's like what the dean would do to Jeffrey.
Dean.
And you see Dr. No, you give them the coffee, and then they get passed out, and you can feel the
Oh
wrists.
no!
Yabba
with the
dabba
pudding pop.
Cosby Kona.
I'm getting tired.
Cosby comb.
Cosby Kona coffee.
He got pudding popped.
Oh, you guys. It never gets old.
And the door opens, and Mr. Huxtable comes in.
Oh my god!
Two for the price of one.
You never see the sweater. That's
No,
the
you
thing.
don't see
you
the
see
sweater,
the gloves.
yeah.
You just don't see the sweater. Oh my god! But yeah, seriously, Dr. No comes in and straight up
He's walking in with his silk pajamas on
and
or
his
something.
white ass shoes with
Yes.
the little heels on.
Those are the shoes, the sort of Randy Quaid shoes.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so Randy. It's
yeah.
Randy Quaid meets Dr. Huxtable.
they-
That's exactly what it is.
Did someone come in and tuck them in?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, somebody because they passed out on the couch
Yeah,
and then they're both in their separate beds.
Yeah.
So yeah, somebody had to have come in and put them in their beds.
This whole scene could have been cut.
Yeah, the whole scene.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is pointless. The
Shamon.
gloves. Yeah. And you
And
say
then
something.
Why did you knock them out? Just to make sure they had a good night's sleep?
They were
Yeah, because he
exhausted.
doesn't do anything to them while they're sleeping.
No,
like
doesn't do anything to
nothing.
them.
But
anyway.
you get what's her face, Honey Chow, all half naked and stuff in front of James Bond, dressed like an Indian waiter.
Literally half naked.
Yeah,
Yeah, 50%.
you're welcome.
From the
Is this why
waist
you
up.
make this movie?
For those who are not watching.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Like, why knock them out if you're not going to do anything?
I
to
like
them?
the Mandarin collar. I kind of wish the Mandarin collar would come back
I'm
because it had a
Barbie
brief
girl
moment.
in a Barbie
You know,
world.
It will be back.
I like it. I think it's a cool
Everything
look.
comes back.
Yeah.
It's a very Indian style of dress that he's got them both in.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like Dr. No is Chinese-ish.
His
Yes.
father was Mediterranean.
Yes.
His mother was
Yeah.
a Chigro.
Played by a person who is not.
No,
Yeah.
white Anglo-Saxon Protestant,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was popular in the 60s
yeah.
and
Yeah.
50s.
He was actually in a really good Twilight Zone episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
which one?
He actually sort of played a Bond villain. I don't remember the name. It was like he brought two people that were his enemies into what was essentially like a Bond lair, and he made them think that there was going to be a nuclear war, and he had saved them. It was a whole
oh, it's very Kimmy Schmidt.
yeah, kind of yeah, but no,
White
but
lady.
but it's weird because it's like when you watch it, it's the guy who played Dr. No, sort of playing Dr. No in the '60s, and
It's like the Pollos Hermanos guy. He keeps playing the same dude just in everything that he's in.
So I don't know which came first. I need to go see which one it was. But yeah, it was pretty good. Here we have. There we go. Here we have the lair of Dr. No, and it looks really cool.
It's very
And
nice. It's very
we're-
well decorated.
Really.
And we're almost that's the thing.
tree.
We're like 2 hours into the movie almost. It takes forever
Yeah.
to actually reach the villain's lair and get where we're going.
Well, and that's kind of the thing that's cool is that you have payoff. Sorry, my security
How
camera.
dare you?
Yeah.
You jerk. My God.
My phone's going to keep beeping unless I turn this off. So,
Technical difficulties.
talk amongst yourselves.
But yeah, I want
Very
that
well decorated.
fireplace. I
There's
want
the large fish.
yeah, the large fish. They look larger than objects in mirror are closer than they appear.
You know what? They could have just said nothing.
I know.
I would not have cared.
I wouldn't have.
I would have just assumed, oh, this must be deep sea fish. or
$1
some- of
million
some sort.
I was, if you were wondering how much it
$100
cost, yes, I was.
You spent $1 million on this? What are you, an idiot?
It's Windows 95. It costs you $75 to install. My
No,
God.
geez, I could have built this thing for like $150,000.
gotta
No,
get-
you got hosed, man.
You got to get your people on that. Yeah. All right.
How many bids did you take for this? Did you just go with the first guy? Jeez.
Because he seriously, was it Ken?
Yeah,
Ken
was he?
will rip you off.
No, that guy, he's no good. He's no good.
Ken's the worst. But yeah, you've got
Canadian James Bond.
those are some really big fish. Yeah. You betcha.
It depends on which side of the glass you are on. He's just.
We
They
look
don't like the
very
bubble
tiny to
screen.
the fish. They're probably going to try to eat us.
They don't like the bubbles.
Oh, there's Odd Job. Oh, no. Sorry.
Who throws a shoe? My God, man, you fight like a woman. But anyway, so we're in the lair and we've been invited to dinner with Dr. No. And he puts them through such an elaborate process of nonsense.
Yes,
Knocking
it's
them out
total
the night
nonsense.
before, having them to dinner.
Oh, that's a good bit. That's
Yeah.
a good bit. That got a huge
us.
laugh.
Tell him.
Tell us.
That painting right there had just like a year before this movie was made had been stolen from a museum, and it was big news. Right?
Okay.
Big news. Had not been found.
Okay.
Dr. No stole it, right? So
Ooh,
everyone knew the
all
painting.
right.
So when British audiences
that.
saw him like look at that painting, they all like busted out laughing because Dr. No was behind stealing
I
it.
never knew that story. That's great.
And I think that's funny because it's one of those things that, like,
That's funny.
in the moment, everyone knew it.
Yes.
Such a relevant joke. And here, no one knows it
Years
now.
and years later.
Years
yeah.
and years, no one. Yeah.
Well, 62. I mean,
Yeah, 62.
it would be another 26 years before I was even born. So,
Yeah,
Well,
keep rubbing that in.
You know, but that reminds me of Back to the Future when Marty McFly went into the cafe. It's like, well, what are you in the Navy? Why? You're wearing a life jacket. He was wearing a puffy vest.
Right.
Puffy vests are no longer in vogue.
Yeah.
So people watch it now. It's like, why is he wearing a life preserver?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's like being in the
Loops
50s,
around.
but later. Yeah, because none of the styles were the same.
oh, that's funny.
And Tab, they just discontinued Tab.
Is
Like,
Tab officially dead?
It is officially dead.
Really?
Yeah.
My aunt is rolling in her grave.
I was about to say, my
Yeah.
friends' moms everywhere are so
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s, it was so popular. And he goes in, could I have a Tab? It's like, well, you haven't ordered anything yet. You can't run a Tab.
Could I have a Sanka?
Could I have a Pepsi
Oh my
free?
God, Sebastian, what's his face? Have you seen that?
Giancarlo. I just listened to that.
Yeah, where it's like people used to just drop by your house, and that used to be just a day
want a
to day kind
Sanka?
of thing. You want your mother would save the special cake
a
that she
million
got at the
times.
market,
Yes.
and she's like, "Nobody eat that. That's for
Sara Lee.
company. That's for company. The Sara Lee cake." And then we, come on in. You want to talk to the kids? You want a Sanka? Like,
Yeah.
and now these days it's like,
If
who
you
the
ha-
hell is at the door? Why are they here?
If,
Like,
you have,
what-
if you have a headache, you can get an Anacin,
Yes.
which I think they still make Anacin.
Oh God,
What?
technical difficulties.
What?
She pulled out a wire.
No, I rolled over my headphones.
Oh, Jesus, caught up in the tire.
Don't worry, I'm
The
not
wheel.
filming this.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't worry, this isn't all going out.
And I'm back, hindsighters. Don't worry.
It's like you were never gone.
He loves that voice.
I do. That is a nice voice.
Anyway,
I prefer the 53 Dom Perignon, which wasn't
Clumsy
that
effort,
old
Mr.
back then.
No, no, yeah.
I prefer the 53 or the 55.
Look at the goon in the background. I mean, it's like I thought I was going to fat camp, and I ended up here.
That's what happens. You think you're going to camp, and then your mom sends you to Dr. No's Island.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
That'd be even better.
Hey, let's do that. We should start like a James Bond like sleepaway camp. That would be awesome.
We just Mr. Brown can meet everybody at the dock in his tuxedo,
Well,
and
you know, you think about that.
I'll put on like a James Bond girl dress or something.
If you actually did that, like a James Bond experience weekend, you'd have people paying like
Oh, they
20 grand.
Dads would roll it out like
Yeah.
because they not that their kids would really appreciate it. The dads would just be excited for their kids to go to this camp.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
I meant for grown-ups.
Ooh,
For grown-ups to
we'd,
do it,
we'd get
you
a
know.
whole bunch of middle-aged men.
Well, of course.
That's absolutely.
But that's
what
the
we
whole
get.
thing, you know. I mean, that there needs to be an industry, like a service
Especially
industry.
if there's a girl dressed like a Bond girl.
Yeah, we probably couldn't do it in the United States.
I was about to say, y'all are not going to be able to trade
Yeah.
me
In the
legally.
Philippines.
I can
Yeah,
tell
fly
you
to the
that.
Philippines.
Yeah. Thriller from Manila.
No, but there needs to be like an industry, like a fantasy fulfillment service industry, where you're like, you know, you want to go and be Captain Kirk, you know.
I think Japan is already on
Write
top of
your
that
check.
with all their virtual.
Write your check.
stuff.
You get to spend a weekend, you know.
Wouldn't that be a cool TV show?
Oh God, it would be awesome.
I think we should do that. Like Saturday night after Love Boat.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Love Boat. Anyway,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
about Love Boat?
No. There was a fantasy retreat that you could go to, and it was an island.
Fantasy Island.
And it was okay, never
The
mind.
plane, boss, the plane.
Starring Hervé Villechaize,
Yes.
The plane, boss, the plane.
who was also in a Bond film.
Knick Knack.
Yeah.
Knick Knack.
Which movie?
I don't know which
The
Bond film he
man
was
with
in.
the golden gun.
Which is like my favorite Bond song.
Who will he bang?
Yeah. Yeah.
We shall see.
Love is required.
Whenever
he's
he's
tired.
he comes just before the kill. It's pretty. Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Let's watch it together.
Yeah.
That sounded a little enticing.
Yes.
Chew me.
Josh can watch.
Yeah, chew
Two.
me.
You might get punched, Mr. Brown. I'm
It's
just
getting
saying.
hot in here
I
again.
love
God.
this is classic Bond because the Bond villain just said, "I never fail."
And gave his whole plan away as well.
Yeah. But it's like those are always the stakes for
That's
Bond.
the kiss of death. Yeah, you share
Yeah.
your whole plan, and I have never failed.
But
And they
if
soften him up.
anybody else tries to beat Dr. No, Dr. No's going to win. The only person who's going to have the smarts
is John or James?
John McClane.
Who?
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
He'll entertain him.
Look at that copper door in there. I mean, even for a prison, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty well kept. And
Though it was relatively easy to get out of with the soft mesh, electrified. But
well,
as long as
you
you're
don't
not
touch it with your skin,
as long as you're not grounded, you're fine.
Yeah.
just like the chick in Deep Blue Sea.
We're going to write that off
And watch
as,
it poof.
as saying that Dr. No wanted him to escape as part of his sinister torturing. That's what I'm sticking with.
Because,
I'm going
well,
with that.
I can kind of see that, Jason, because it's a bit lab ratish where he's got to go through the vents and, feel his way around and figure out where he's going to go. So I wonder if Dr. No wanted him to escape from his cell.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they started filming as if it was the original Dr. No, and this was the labyrinth they were sending him through. And then they got to the giant squid and said, "Okay, we got to change this. He just escapes."
We don't have the money for a giant squid.
And we
first
couldn't
off.
get the crabs. Oh, that's right. The crabs were supposed to go over Honey Child Rider. And she made a big
Crabs?
fit in the book about how terrified she was of these deadly crabs. But she's like, "Oh, no, I've been eating them for years. It's no big deal." She made a big thing. And they just ran right over her, and nothing happened, right? But they got the crabs, and they arrived. They were frozen. 3/4 of them were dead. So they just kind of laid her down as if the water was going to come up and get her. They had to,
No.
You got to
it's like
imagine the poor guy.
the goddamn crabs are dead.
I get
No-
you, crabs.
No crabs were injured in this
injured
filming
in
of this. But that doesn't that so much look like a labyrinth,
Yeah.
a labyrinth,
That's what I'm saying is he's like a lab rat. He's
Yeah.
just going around a little
which
maze.
is the way the book is written.
Yeah.
the way the
Well,
book is.
okay.
which I mean, John
need to
McClane
borrow
when
that
he
book
when he
from
when
you.
he was going through the ducts, they were like this big, and he had barely enough room to light the cigarette lighter. This, I don't know what exactly they're moving through. Oh wow,
Yeah, that would hurt. Left leg
Well,
broken.
well, they're moving water because he gets washed over
that's right.
something, which is weird.
And the water only rushes in one direction, which is super strange because water tends to go in all directions. But, physics.
Meh.
Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson when you need him? Anyway, so James Bond escapes, which is great. And, he's trying to find his fellow British agent. And that gets buried so deep in
Oh yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
it took you a minute.
I mean, I always just sort of took it for granted at this point. Everyone knew Strangway was dead.
Was dead, yeah.
And now he's like, okay, well, Dr. No did it.
Yeah.
Clearly. Imagine
Clearly.
if he hadn't.
But yeah, so James Bond is trying to
Dr.
solve
No's
that
going to go
mystery.
find the real
It's a cold
killer.
case.
But ultimately, it really just comes down to the fact that James Bond has to kill the shit out of Dr. No. That's pretty much what it comes
Dr.
down
No
to.
just flushed his toilet. He really had a nasty one. Then it all
James
comes
Bond-
washing over James. He's
James
like,
Bond's head lifts up. He's got some toilet paper in his mouth.
Aw,
yeah.
Ah,
much less tasty than a.
this
You know,
doesn't
gin
make
and
any
tonic.
sense.
Oh God.
So how does the movie end?
That's a great question. Dr. No dies.
There we are.
And that's pretty much it.
And 007 bangs the girl.
Yeah.
There we are.
I mean,
Well, Bond poses as one of the technicians. And
Which is easy because they have.
I know he puts a, it was like a, I forget, anti-contamination suit.
Yeah, but wouldn't he be
Yes.
like 3 feet taller?
He
than
would.
everyone
He would.
else?
But then he's like wandering around and it's like, fuel cell man, get back to your job. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he goes back to the panels again.
it's so Austin Powers. He winds up like banging against the wall, like trying to turn the golf cart around. It's a whole thing.
And I just love that all the bad guys' lairs, they have just machines with lights that people have to just monitor the shit
Yes.
out of this thing.
He's learned his lesson as a lab rat,
Yes.
though. He doesn't continue to touch
Right.
any metal, any
Yeah.
mesh metal. Like, he'll kick it open instead.
You know, if I was a Bond villain, you know what I would do is all of my blinky light machines, I would hire a guy to like write labels
light
so that we knew what the hell the buttons did.
That's why I have a label
But
maker
this
at my
is
house.
but this is what we're talking about. There was a lot of real gear.
That was real gear.
Yeah.
They borrowed from.
That's very Man from Uncle. Like, it looks like straight up a set out of Man from Uncle.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
He's just
Snap
an
your neck.
engineer and he gets killed by some agent.
He's actually what's even worse is he was an
Fellow
intern.
engineer.
Hey, that's right. He was probably just daydreaming about flying home
Yeah.
that night, to meet his parents.
I'm gonna see my girl.
And then Bond strangles him.
No,
It's so bad.
Nothing to see here.
It's so bad.
pay no attention. I'm just a Chinesey like the rest of you.
And I'm 3 feet taller than everyone. Like, it's just,
It's like they do a wide shot and it's like he's wearing shorts.
yeah. It's pretty bad. But
He's got mini-me on his
It's
shoulders.
beautiful.
so what is it that Dr. No is trying to accomplish again? I know we already mentioned it.
Using radios to topple missiles, and for some reason that requires like an exposed nuclear reactor.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no shielding.
Yeah, because I know you
Well, they
mentioned
blew
it
all their
earlier.
money on the big fish tank that cost $1 million goddamn dollars.
That's
Yeah, I know you're wondering.
Yeah, Doctor, no, we need some more money for the shielding for the reactor. Oh shit,
I just spent it on the big fish.
Peter.
As long as, like my dad always used to tell me,
He
as long as you're
seriously
holding
isn't-
a clipboard or a manila folder, it makes it look like you're doing something
Yeah.
in the military. So look, he picks up a manila folder, he's walking around.
and walk with purpose.
Yes.
As
Walk
opposed
like
to
I'm in a hurry.
As opposed to a hospital where if you're wheeling around a stiff, nobody's going to ask you to do anything, newbie. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
So
the
a dead
fuel
person
element, by the
or a
way, is
clipboard.
the fuel element is at 12.5.
Oh, and that's where they kept. That's where they have the Jaws 3D shark.
Yeah, actually, this is
In
the
that
origin. This is where the Jaws 3D shark. It was actually one of those fish, and it swam.
And
in
it, and it
there.
grew
Yeah.
into a great white shark. Yeah, and that guy has a fishbowl on his head,
Yeah.
which totally makes sense.
Control rods, check. Core temperature,
Yes.
check.
Everything's cool.
Converters, check. Fuel man, where are you? Oh shit, I'm going.
Good.
And they have like the signs. Like Dr. No went to a catalog and like picked out the signs.
Seriously.
Trajectory computer.
Yeah.
You know they had that in stock too. That wasn't custom. They actually had trajectory computer on the shelf. It was a weird coincidence. That's
do you
actually
know?
not even a trajectory
He's
computer.
seriously wearing like.
Where's Chang? Oh, Chang.
We're here.
Chang, what are you doing? Get on the
Chang,
gantry.
Chang, get back to work. Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, he was
Right
back.
away. Right away.
This is going to be a Chang-tastrophe.
Chang, he's
But
got
did you
Changnesia. He's gonna get Changnesia after this, though, right? But then he gets the
Oh,
idea. Reactor on. Reactor on.
B as in bagel, boys. B as in bagel.
Core temperature, yes.
Yes.
And then James is like, what can I do? Let me take it above the danger level.
Boop, beep, boop. I'll
Let
just-
me crank it up to 11.
Well, that was always the thing. Look at the size of that.
Look at those buttons.
Sorry, hindsighters. This has been
They can
utter
see it.
chaos.
They can see it.
No, I know, but it's been utter chaos for them. So let's get
Now,
back
why
on
does he
track,
get the
gentlemen.
inflatable suit? The rest of us get the regular clothes because he's on the fuel cells.
This was not my pick. But anyway, so
It's just so ridiculous.
and that's what I'm saying though is that we spend so much time on things that we don't need to spend time on. Like we've already spent. Like,
25 is the danger level.
Oh my God, we're at 25.
what is danger's danger level?
When his dad is angry,
Oh,
that's his danger level.
No,
All right.
my favorite of this sort of thing that they did in a Bond movie is in Thunderball. Whenever Bond goes to the spa, and I remember as a kid, like this it was like so obvious to me because he gets on the machine,
The
that's supposed
massage
to
thing.
stretch him out, and somebody comes in and cranks it up to the kill you level, and I thought,
It's very Princess Bride.
why would you build it with a kill you level? It's a spa machine.
Oh, see here,
This is for
they needed the
posterity.
nuclear reactor to push the little antenna out of the hole. We need the power. We need a lot of power for that.
It's so bad.
It's too cheap to meter. I don't care. It costs $2 billion to build.
More or less. I mean,
Now you're gonna be acting, but you're gonna have a salad bowl in your head.
Now, this is when the James Bond music should be playing. He's turning it up. It starts to bubble. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
Ooh.
Yes.
Now, if you as a person who knows of nuclear things, if you walked into a bad guy's nuclear reactor room and you wanted to fuck him, what would you do?
I would take off my clothes and bend him over the generator.
Okay, now if you wanted to screw him up like his whole bad plan,
You want me
and
to
blow-
screw him or fuck him?
No,
or what do you want me to do to him?
We've established how you do that. But if you want to blow his reactor up, yeah, that works.
You know, what's really hard about that is there are so many safety features that are automatically built into all these nuclear reactors. It would be hard. I guess the only way to do it would be to continuously pull out the control rods. Just grab the control rod, dry mag, and just like he did, take it to the danger zone, you know, and it would overheat and it would melt down the reactor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
Like
a good
you do.
spot to be in.
No, it isn't.
No.
Especially when James Bond starts kicking ass.
Not when you're on the Home Depot nuclear reactor.
Well, and
no.
there are tiger sharks with laser beams on their head in the water, which we're totally gonna dive with. That's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
I'll
The
be
water.
like Tina.
The water is hot.
So
You're gonna melt. So yeah.
Oh, look, he's got the metal hands. Can't get a grip.
Oh, that's right.
Can't
Yeah,
get
we
a
didn't
grip.
even talk about the metal hands.
Yeah, Dr.
Which
No.
aren't gloves.
No.
So,
They're not just gloves.
Okay, so they're kind of like they are very Death Race 2000 in the sense that they don't have a bomb in them, but you know they're not real hands. So what's the thing with Dr. No's hands, gentlemen?
I don't even remember. They're robot hands.
Because I don't remember the movie explaining it. So what is it?
He had
with Dr.
artificial
No?
hands because he damaged them in a horrible reactor accident.
Because
Oh, no.
clearly.
Oh no.
How did that really? You? No.
No. But so you know,
Godspeed, John Glenn.
so James Bond thwarts the evil plot.
Yes, he
and
does. He
thwarts-
destroys the reactor, and this is we finally get the explosion that my son waited the whole movie for.
Yeah.
That's what he was
It's
waiting
like,
for.
when are the explosions? When are the gunshots and all that stuff? And I was just like, you got to wait in the older
Because this
films.
movie does take, it
does.
takes a little while to really get into the action. That's true.
Oh, and I'm going to. Oh, there's Honey. No.
But then, of course, no one cares about him because they're all running for their lives.
Yeah,
the-
they
the-
all
well-
know the nuclear.
Well, it's like Scott Adams said, the best boss is a boss who dies of natural causes on a Thursday afternoon. Because you get a 3-day weekend.
Wow.
So I'm assuming this is Thursday and they're all going, sweet.
Where's
Yeah,
the
we're
girl?
out.
I don't know. And he punches him.
And I did appreciate. Yeah.
Where's the girl? Punch her too. That would have been even better.
And he finds another girl, and he's like, "Where's my girl?" And she's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Show me." Like, find her and drags
How
her
cool
around.
would it be if when they pulled back on that shot and there were just dead crabs, like frozen dead crabs on the
everywhere.
ground?
It's very Captain Jack.
You have to
Sparrow.
draw a lot of conclusions like you did in Phantasm. You look in there, oh, what was the water coming up to, going to fill her up? Who's going to drown her? I don't know. Or they were just dampening her lower half, her naughty bits.
I can dive.
Anyway.
That was that guy's first dive ever. Everyone was very proud of him.
And this was hilarious to me, the fact that James finds a boat to get away in, and then he takes the one guy who's on the boat, like who isn't doing anything or hurting them, and he throws him off. He's like, "Get out of here!"
What I like is that there's one guy who's smart enough to leave his radiation suit on.
yeah,
Like that
one dude.
You guys are dumb.
The radiation is still there, homies. Just so you know, just making.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
he throws that one guy off, and the
Now
one
look,
guy.
is the boat still tied up?
no,
No.
Honey
it's loose.
undid it. Yeah.
Okay.
And meanwhile, she's on the front of the boat for some reason.
And there's
Kablooey.
the explosion. Boy, it
Hamster
blows up
Huey and the
big.
gooey kablooey. They get away just in time. But yeah, it just so yay. all's
Keeping the
well that
British
ends
end up,
well.
sir.
Yes. Well, it's not quite over yet because he still has to make love to the woman.
He
'Cause
doesn't.
Christmas
though.
only comes
Oh, wait, he doesn't?
He makes out with her.
And then...
Well, it's implied that
going
they're
to
having
bang her.
sex with her. Yeah.
Because, I mean, come on, they ran out of gas.
They've run out of fuel, and it's so hilarious because, people come up to save them, and James Bond is like, oh, do you need help with something? He's his usual charismatic self. And then,
What's he doing? I believe he's attempting re-entry. That's a real line.
Yes,
That's
Moonraker.
Moonraker. Someone sat at a typewriter and went,
Raper?
But yeah, Felix comes to the rescue with the Navy, or the Coast Guard, I guess.
Oh, look, it's
well,
Mr.
that
Brown
one dude
and
has
his
a
crew.
helmet that says STD on it. Like, how embarrassing is that? What? Look, there's the STD guy.
Oh my gosh. You're right.
But yeah, so they throw a line.
It's
to get
supposed
towed.
to say stud.
But yeah, so the movie ends on a nice note where
Yes.
James Bond is clearly getting laid on a boat.
Yes.
And there you go.
Yeah. You guys can turn your backs or not. Really, I don't care. This is happening.
There's evidence.
It's happening.
She's letting it happen in front of you.
Now, what is she about to do? I was just like, she kind of got a little low there.
Felix is just sitting there with a cigarette staring.
He just lets the cigarette or lets the rope go.
He's like, hold on a second, James, let me take care of myself.
Yeah, being stranded is worth it.
It's like, we can see that the rope came undone.
And we've got to come back and get you. We know you're in the middle of having sex, but
And it's funny, they put the end right on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Each side of the boat. It's quite well done.
absolutely.
Filmed in Jamaica and at Pinewood Studios in Georgia.
There you go. Made in Georgia. But,
We
yeah,
need to get that for our show.
we really do.
How do we get that? There's
I
got
don't
to be
know.
like paperwork you fill out so we can have the made
Just like
in
Georgia. I'm sure we can do that. I'll look into it.
Or we'll just rip it off and do our own.
Oh,
We'll do
yeah.
a Jack Palance. Made
Do
in
the
Georgia.
thing that you did on Halloween where, you did the
Oh, yeah.
voiceover. That's perfect. So,
Whoa, Sean Connery was James Bond?
oh my God,
Wow.
what? Sean Connery's in this movie?
Well, Sean, Mr. Connery, Sir Sean.
Yes.
Rest in peace, sir.
Rest in peace.
It is not exaggeration in the least to say that for generations he was the man.
oh, yes.
He
He was the movie star.
was it. I mean, and it's not just Bond. I mean, there's Bond, there's Indiana Jones, there's
Hunt for
there's-
Red October.
Hunt
There's
for Red
League of
October.
Extraordinary Gentlemen, believe it or not. Like, I know that's not one of his.
Zardoz. Go
Name
ahead,
of the
we can't-
Rose.
Yeah.
Remember Name of the Rose?
Zardoz, where he looked just like Burt Reynolds. My God, they looked identical in that movie. But
Yeah.
We all have our highs and lows in life.
Yeah. Hey, it was a paycheck.
Yeah.
we
was.
we love you, Sean Connery, Sir Sean Connery.
Well, it's just one of those people that you hoped would never, ever, ever. I want him to live to be 140. I need
Like-
to go before Sean.
Like they should have just not told us.
Yeah,
They
it
should've
shouldn't have
just-
been.
they should've
shouldn't have been
just-
public domain.
well, and then
Yeah.
there's Highlander. Don't forget
Highlander,
Highlander.
yeah.
And
And
should have
Highlander.
only
the
been
most,
one.
the most
Highlander too.
Egyptian man that ever happened.
I mean, they're Outland.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good movie. High Noon in Space. I mean,
He had
how do you
a
go wrong?
countless amount of movies that
The Presidio.
Yep.
Remember that one?
I don't, but
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never
Untouchables.
seen it, I mean,
The Rock.
The Rock. The Rock.
But Sir Sean, we wanted to pay tribute to you this evening to make sure that you know that we're thinking about you, and we hope that you're resting in peace, sir.
And best wishes to the family too, because he did. He had,
Absolutely.
I mean, he had a family. Because that's the thing, like to us, he's Sean Connery. To somebody else, he was dad.
Yeah,
And Grandpa.
uncle.
And Grandpa.
And Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
know.
know, it's sad to hear of such a titan passing. That's always depressing to hear, but at least we got to celebrate him on this episode.
What
so that's
scares
good.
me, and this was actually the first thought I had, was, oh God, that means Harrison Ford can die also.
Oh,
And
when
I don't-
Johnny goes,
I don't,
guys, don't even tell me when Johnny goes. Just like hide it from me from the world. Just text me and be like, no internet today.
Do you mean the wife beater?
Okay, well, folks, we're gonna go real quick. We have to end the show right now.
Yeah. I know. I'm
The
leaving right.
Atom Beater is about to get into action right now.
Yes.
So,
It's okay. I've got the guns locked safely over here, so everything's
you.
fine.
Do we want to close without the Seinfeld, or are we happy with closing it with a tribute to?
You know what?
I think
For Sean Connery,
yeah,
you don't need
you
it.
don't
it
even,
doesn't matter.
you don't
That's
even
what I
get
was
to do that.
thinking.
Perfect. It's a great movie. We all still love it.
And
I
also,
don't think it's
is
really
this
changed.
this is like the first movie we've done in a long time that we actually watched the entire movie,
That's true. We usually
and
have
it's a
to cut
2-hour
through-
movie
Yeah.
almost.
Well, Sir Sean Connery
Yeah.
calls for our attention. We're going to answer that call for sure. So
So we may get some more hits with Google searches with Dr. No.
Yeah.
And then with Death Race 2000.
imagine. Anyway, hindsighters, we appreciate you tuning in for this special episode. We've kind of gone off the rails with our concept of what we do with our podcast, but you love us anyway. So thank you for joining us for your drive time, your listening time, your Sean Connery time of all times. We appreciate it. This has been Darth, Adam, and Jason. This is Hindsight, and good night.